Welcome to the grid, where the names don't fade, where the first turn shakes and the brave get made. PHG in the air, hear the whole room call. Season 4 tonight, yeah, we came to ball. Chrome on the nose and the tires scream. Every lap a test, every corner a dream. Legends in the lane with the pressure on. When the lights go down, we're already gone. PHG, PHG. Let it ring through the dome. Bring that fire to the track, bring it all back home. Drivers on edge, eyes locked, hands cold. One more shot at glory, one more story told. Helmet on tight, heart loud on my chest. Nerves like a wire, but I never rest. Grid full of ghosts with the title to keep. And the whole world waiting when the red lights sleep. Every move sharp, every line stays clean. Close on the inside, cut through the scene. If you want the crown, better hold that pace, cause the legends don't blink in a high-speed race. Hear that shit now. PHG, PHG, PHG. Feel it shake now. PHG, PHG. One breath, one line, one chance to shine. No backing off, it's go time. The go time. PHG, PHG, let it ride. Legends race here, nowhere to hide. PHG, PHG, feel the flame. Season 4, we all know the name. PHG, PHG, take the crown when the lights hit red. We don't slow down. PHG, PHG, hear that roar. The legends race here, and we want more. Late apex pressure, I'm cutting it close. Paint on the bumper, I'm ghost to the ghost. They want my line, but I've been that raw. One hard pass and the whole room cool. Burnt out rubber on the edge of the fight. Every lap counts in the dead of night. If the pack comes close, I don't move back. I hit that gap like a clean attack. Hear that chant now. PHG, PHG, PHG. Feel it shake now. PHG, PHG. One breath, one line, one chance to shine. No backing off, it's go time. PHG, PHG, let it ride. Legends race here, nowhere to hide. PHG, PHG, feel the flame. Season 4, we all know the name. PHG, PHG, take the crown when the lights hit red. We don't slow down. PHG, PHG, hear that roar. Legends race here, and we want more. Yeah. Look at that lineup. Look at that pressure. This is where the fast learn fear, and the fearless learn speed. PHG, World Series Season 4. Not a warm-up, not a preview. This is the race. This is the run. This is where legends move. Take the signal, lock the pace. One more lap, one more chase. Hands stay steady, eyes stay true. Every rival pushing through. When the crowd all rise and the engine scream, we break the limit, we own the drive. PHG, PHG, let it ride. Legends race here, nowhere to hide. PHG, PHG, feel the flame. Season 4, we all know the name. PHG, PHG, take the crown when the lights hit red. We don't slow down. PHG, PHG, hear that roar. Legends race here, and we want more. PHG, legends race here. Season 4, we're live, we're locked, we're going.
Good evening, and welcome to the final day of qualifying of round 4 of the PHG World Series, right? This is round 4. Yes, it is. That's fantastic. I am T Case, and I am joined by Mr. Q, as well as the reigning champion, Jorge Sr. Jorge, how are you doing?
Good. How's it going?
Going well, going well. And Q, how are you, sir?
Excellent. Thanks for asking.
Awesome, awesome. So we are here right now. We had some qualifying last night. Jorge, I believe you qualified, correct?
I did, yes.
You
I don't
did,
remember
you
that. I don't
did.
think it happened.
Let's see. Were you in group three?
Yeah, I'm doing group 3 this season.
So here, I'll pull up our group. You know what? Let's pull up both times. We can see right there on this beautiful graphic that somebody more talented than myself figured out. And that is that Jorge Sr. is the leader with a 117.875. That is very impressive, sir. Very impressive. Q, have you done any laps around here?
I did one. I did one lap before I joined today, just so I would have something to reference.
And how did
Uh,
that
it,
work out for you?
it was in the high 18s, but I don't know. I probably could have put down a pretty good lap. I know that for my first lap, there's a lot to trim off when I get one. I'm not saying I ought to beat Jorge's time, but I normally expect I'll take about a second off of my initial lap.
Okay,
So,
okay. This is a great track. This is one that I wasn't super familiar with, and I want to say it was like Toyota Cup or something where we were in Yaris's or GR Corollas or something that I really took to this track and found the flow, especially after turn one when you come up the hill and you kind of got a skip, hop, and a jump and a little twist to get around there. Jorge, what is your approach to that initial challenge after the fast turn one?
Yeah, I mean, I struggle with that turn right at the top of the hill. That's
yeah,
either make or
same.
break the lap for me. It's either brake too late and then you're not carrying enough momentum, or you feel like you brake or well, you brake too late and you kind of skid off a little bit, or you just screw the whole thing up, or you brake too early and then you're not carrying the momentum. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I nailed that one like 1 out of 5 tries, but when you nail it, it feels good. But for me, it's hard. I don't know why. I've always struggled there.
Yeah, you're not alone. That is the most difficult turn on the track for me as well, because it's a blind corner, and it's all just about timing and feel. And if I had $1 for every time I thought I nailed it perfectly and picked up a penalty, I'd have $2 anyway.
or
Yeah.
just completely unsettled the car and botched the left-hander as you drive through the grass.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, imitate my lawnmower self. And then I think the second most important corner on the track, and not a big surprise, I don't think, but turn 7, we just saw Talon go around, but you really want to get hold a good amount of pace, get a good exit from that corner for that long straight.
So we're on board now. Talon about to start his flyer and this fun shoulder cam. You can just really see how little visibility, if any, drivers are in VR that you have, which makes it that much more exciting once we get to race day with the multi-class. But Talon taking his first flying lap, a very talented racer. Jorge, you've raced against Talon quite a bit, both in PHG and NRL. Any battles or thoughts that you have of racing with Talon?
No, I mean, Talon's very fast, very consistent. He's always right there. So yeah, I expect him to put down a pretty good time.
Yeah,
Now,
I don't think I've
yeah,
done
go ahead.
any laps in a Group 1 race car at this track. So yeah, I'm just kind of watching and learning. What were you gonna say though?
Oh, I was gonna say, you're more, or you're the newest person in the booth, I guess, as far as being in the PHG stuff. What all have you participated in um, within league racing, both in PHG and outside of PHG?
So league racing is actually pretty new for me. I've been playing GT7 now for a few years, maybe. But I played all the other GTs before GT7. And, I got into GT7 heavy a few years ago, did the daily races, the World Series and all of that. And I liked it, but it got a little old. And so Season 3 PHG was the first league that I ever jumped in and raced. And then I've done one other since then with a guy who was just trying to get a league off the ground, and so joined that. So that's about the extent.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 races I think last season with PHG, and I think I did 10 with the other league. So I'm still pretty much a noob to the whole thing.
Yeah, I've only participated in a handful. I got sucked into the broadcasting side early on at the beginning of NRL, just because I couldn't race in it and I wanted to be a part of it. And now I'm doing the sprint of the endurance series of IRO and have participated in a few PHG World Series races. I do want to give a shout out to the proprietor himself, Papa of the Papa's House of Game. Thank you so much for the one gifted, my friend. Thank you. As Talon unable to improve on this lap, in the Group 1 cars, either of you do any Group 1? I mean, I know, Jorge, you're in the Group 3. What are you thinking about these Group 1s around here? I always thought it was interesting to have this high of downforce car at a track like this as Talon goes purple.
Yeah, I mean, I ran some laps just before we got on, just for fun, just so I didn't sound like a complete bozo. And yeah, I mean, I've driven them here before, but it's kind of like a fast and furious lap. You just feel like you're kind of hanging on to the edge of your seat because it's such a short lap. And T1 especially, you really got to send it, and you're really on the edge. Especially as the tires wear down, or as the tires heat up. So it's kind of like sometimes you make that T1, and sometimes you just drive straight off into the grass. But you have to kind of risk it if you want to really maximize your lap time.
And you're basically a passenger as soon as you get more than one tire off. Man, you could flirt with your 2 lefts, but honestly, as soon as you push it too far, and it's so much grass, and you just can't turn, and then inevitably you end up in the wall. Right.
Yeah, any foray into the grass at all on T1, and that's it.
Yep.
But when you get it right, it is fantastic. But yeah, that is definitely in this we're not quite an endurance series, but these are not short races. There's definitely strategy involved, tire wear involved. Each lap is slightly different, and this is a momentum track through and through. There's only
absolutely
two heavy braking zones, and that's coming up here at the end of the chicken leg. And everything, and then of course the chicane, but that's still, I mean, that's a 3rd gear chicane. That's nothing crazy. So Talon on his outlap, having pitted, taking fresh soft tires, gonna have time for at least 2 more flyers, if not 3. Tires might be too worn by that 3rd one.
I'm not sure how much of an impact tire wear really has at 2x tire wear. If you don't stop at all, I think certainly by the end there'd be an impact. But he just came in halfway through the stint or the session, and there wasn't too much wear.
Yeah.
And for me, I always try to gauge. Early on in the stint, your tires are fresher. But later on in the stint, maybe you've got a little wear, but you've also got a little bit of rhythm from the laps before. So I find that, it's not uncommon for me to lay down a better lap with a little bit more worn tires after I have a couple laps under my belt. It's not always the fresh tire lap.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the same way. I'm not saying this is you, but for me, I'm associating it with a lack of skill, as we see a big improvement from Talon there. It's just that I'm one of those people that I'm not going to find that much more time after I put in a few laps. I'm not at that point of the improvement. So sometimes it's better to me to just stay in the flow, even on slightly worn tires, than coming back out on fresh tires. I definitely do better in the races. I'm one of those that the race pace is a different story. As Talon again going purple, going to be a big improvement on this lap, and he'll get at least one more. Let's see what happens as he comes across the line using all that downforce, making it easily flat out across the line with a 107.635. That is less than a second off of Florinota. Not too bad, Jorge.
Yeah, it's a good lap time.
Yeah, and he's
That's all
got
I got
plenty
for
of
you.
time for. He's got plenty of time for at least a couple more laps.
Yeah. We'll see Talon getting in the flow of things, getting through the S's just fine. He's down about half a tenth or a hundredth of a second there as I try to do math in my head. Or remember math terms. You know what it is. Coming onto the long straight. Less crucial about getting the good exit in these Group 1 cars, but the Group 3 cars are definitely going to need to focus more on the exit, not having any of that hybrid energy. Q, how much of these Group 1 cars do you drive, and are you familiar at all on how to manage batteries in this silly game that we love to play?
No, actually.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard people talk about it, but I don't drive Group 1 too much.
I think they're full of
so-
nonsense.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I don't trust them.
I don't trust them. I think they're just making stuff up to make me try to do stuff, and then they continue to win. Talon taking an adventure. Let's see this again here and see what we can see happen. Let's look at his line through G1. We were talking about how crucial it looks like he touches the grass a little bit, sends it too far, able to keep it on the track, revving it out. And this is that right-handed flick taking too much curb, like we were talking about at the beginning of the session, sends him accreting across the grass. And I believe that's going to be it for Talon, but he was able to improve with a 107.402. Q, your thoughts on what we saw there?
Well, real
you
quick,
know,
I think he's going to
Jorge.
get around. I think
Is
he'll
he?
be able to get another lap in. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, he should.
Plenty of time. He's got plenty of time. So, yeah, he'll get one more lap. But, I mean, those are the hazards of the track, and that's what happens with that blind corner. And, you know, if he already feels like he's got a good banker in, then you know, why not? Go for it. He had plenty of time to make a mistake, make it around for another shot at it. The tire wear is, again, really not too bad. He should still be able to put down a great lap with, you know, where he's at with the tires. So here he comes around for his final lap, and back to the scene of the crime, if you will. No incidents that time through, anyway.
See our first marker, 2/10 down.
Yeah, and for me, when I'm running this track, it's that first interval point where I know, you know, if my lap has any potential
Oh.
or not. So,
Yeah.
What a save
that,
there.
That first sector is so important.
yep.
When we could see in his previous lap, he picked up time in the final sector. But you could see here, just push it a little too hard, got squirrely, and off he goes. That's going to be it for Mr. Talon, the man we all know and love.
So it looks like that will slot him in just behind B Pabst, but you know, less than a tenth of a second behind B Pabst.
Wow.
Where's Pabst at? What's his time? 0.3?
Yeah. Yeah, 107.327 for B Pabst. Florinota
Yeah.
just has a 106.9, so not a
Right,
lot of
right.
separation there. Oh yeah, I see it's on the screen. Sorry.
Courtesy of Sal and company, keeping us informed and in the highest tech. And if y'all haven't heard, myself, Sal, Papa, the one and only Dirty Tati, Slow-Mo, and McNaughty have joined forces to start our own broadcasting company, taking all we've learned from these series and putting it to good work to help grow the league community. There's so many leagues out there, and there's no exposure to them because nobody's broadcasting them. And this can allow you to find a league that maybe fits you perfectly, that you haven't known of before. And so we're going to try to bring that to you, to your phones and to your living rooms and wherever else you consume your YouTube. That's Upshift Media Studios, baby.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, have you seen their intro yet, Jorge?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
pretty
you
neat.
need to get on
Pretty
the
cool.
YouTubes. It's
I'll
it's good
yeah, I'll get
stuff.
on the internet and check it out.
I mean, I guess how did that originate? I know you just talked a little bit about some of the why, but like, is this some sort of like smoky backroom deal thing going on, or am I just
Right?
romanticizing it a little bit?
Well, I mean, but through the internet. But yeah, exactly like that. We kept it on
smoky
the hush
ether of the
hush.
internet.
We wanted to make sure it was we could pull it off. But I mean, Sal was the real originator. McNaughty was probably the influence, the muse, if you will, the NRL, and just what we've been able to achieve, and hearing other leagues reaching out to us individually, to be like, hey, you do a good job at PHG or you do a good job at NRL, could you help us? And McNaughty's been doing that. He's helped out with IRO and S7R. He's been doing stuff like that. And this was an opportunity to do it on a bigger scale with more help. Because one thing, I don't know if you saw McNaughty's NRL feedback, but I think if you watch that live stream, you got a taste of how much work's in it and what's involved, and not only running a league, but running the production side. And so if we can have the leagues run, we can put all our attention into the production side, and I think, just grow specifically within Gran Turismo esport, and bring it across more platforms. So we're really excited. We've been in the works for several months, just making sure everyone's on board. We knew what we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it, and so far so good. We're excited, and we love how much the community has taken to it already.
So do you have any upcoming leagues you can share with us,
so
or is it still top secret?
No, VIP.
Well, hold on just a minute. Let me interrupt
Yeah.
real quick. Just want to point out, right, Talon's lap, and
Yeah, please
I
do.
think we got some new guys going on. So Talon
Okay.
kicking us off for the night, coming at a 107.402. It's a good pace. Like I said, it places him into third overall right now, but we've got a lot more cars to qualify yet in Group 1. So looks like we've got Fernando Button and Jack Skillington in the lobby now with the True Serum. I don't know about you guys, but I can't handle the True Serum.
He's so fast.
Yeah, it looks like
I see what you did there.
Is that from a movie? Is that pop
It might
culture?
You can't handle the truth. That's my best Jack Nicholson, whatever.
Nicholson, there you go.
I mean, the golfer impersonating the actor is what I'm going
There you
for.
go.
All right, so anyway,
so we have the VIP championship coming up in just a few weeks, really. I believe end of June, beginning of July. We had somebody else reach out today to get us to do their league. So the ball is rolling. We kind of took on VIP as a test, and we said yes to VIP before we made any announcements. And they're going to be the guinea pig, and then hopefully the ball keeps rolling and gets as big as it can get. We're loving it. We have other people who weren't in the stream yesterday who are a part of it. Croatian helping out with graphics, and everything like that. So we'll definitely, as it grows, need to bring more people on board. But the six of us who you saw on stream Monday night, we are the owners. It's us six are driving this train, and then we'll bring people on as needed, because there's so much people in the community. And one of the things I love about what PHG World Series has done for other people, but done for me, like, I was not a lead commentator when PHG World Series started, but I do feel comfortable saying I am now. And it is going to be lots of fun to see, as we've seen so many others come through. Q, you've been a big part of this now, and we've had several others come in, like JK85, Mr. Casual, several others. So you know, I love how PHG has allowed the community to grow. Now we got Jorge in the booth, taking a break from the old racing for a night and helping us out as we see S7R's The True Serum in Group 1 machinery.
Yeah, it looks like he's on his first hot lap here. And he's a quick driver, so I'm really excited to see what kind of lap time he's going to put down.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I'm curious to see what's the top going to be and what's the cutoff. 'Cause it sounds like Florida
there's no
Notice tied-
cutoff. There's no cutoff, right? As of yet.
I
mean,
don't believe so. I think there's
yeah.
only been 3 drivers.
Yeah.
something like that.
Papa was asking if the cutoff wasn't updating, but no, it's just there hasn't been a cutoff yet because it just says none current.
Yep, you're correct. That's correct.
Jack Skellington looking fly as ever. This is an Audi. I like that. Woo! It's like a mountain.
Yeah, I'm still trying to make sense of it completely, but it's appealing. I just don't know for sure what I'm looking at.
I like it, but I don't know what it is.
I don't know why I like it, but I like it, which is fine.
Story of my life. Raidmobile.
You absolutely don't want to get too close to Fernando in the race. Have engine problems right after that, and then next thing you know, your car's dead. Because it's Raid. Yeah, maybe my dad jokes, they just don't hit right, you know. It's fine.
I'm still trying to process that one.
Yeah, my IRL friends, you know, they've gotten used to me. It's pretty much my humor is just groaners, you know. If people are like, "Oh, come on, really?" That's all it is.
As long as
I
it
love
makes
that
you
joke,
happy,
so-
that's all that matters.
there
I make
you go.
myself laugh all the time. To me, I'm the funniest person in the world, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you gotta be. So the truth now broken into the 107.7. He's up. I thought he was up 2.5 tenths or something last checkpoint. So up to a tenth now. So we'll down to being up a tenth at this point. You know, but this last chicane actually, if you nail it right, you can really pick up a lot of time and then set yourself up very nicely for the next lap. And if you kind of flub that corner, you know, I mean, you can lose 1 or 2 tenths easy.
Would you say taking a lot of curb in Group 1 is the way to go? We saw the truth didn't really take too much of either apex there. Curious if that's a Group 1 issue or... Because I know in some cars you you put the middle of your car on the apex. Do as much as you can not to get the pin.
It looks like he's taking that last chicane really wide. I take it where I'm cutting over that first apex, even in this car, but this car you can get really unsettled really quickly. It kind of bottoms out. I don't know if it's because it's so low or the flat bottom.
We'll ride back on board in this bonnet cam. It'll give us a good idea where the center of the car is and the tires in relation to the apex.
He's got a good lap going so far. Yeah, I would certainly take more of that first apex or the apex in the first chicane. And I'd go a lot more narrow through there as well.
Yeah, you can see, look how much Fernando took, but obviously punished him as he got way too much on the apex. Let's see if Jack is able to get by, and he is. Unable to improve, Mr. Skellington. Fernando B in the pit, so we're seeing some drivers opting to pit like we saw with Talon, and the Truth opting to stay out. Do you think he's going to do this completely no stop? We are at minute 6 and 25 seconds, so...
He's got to come in right here.
Yeah, I expect he's going to pit this lap.
It is a short lap, just over a minute.
Unless, of course, he hits this next checkpoint and he's half second down.
Yeah.
Which isn't the case, so yeah, I expect him to come in.
This is Arguably one of the hardest pit entries. What do you guys think?
I'd say
I like
entry
it.
and exit is problematic, or can be problematic.
No, I think it's all
Jorge,
right. You just
yeah.
cut that grass on the right big time.
I'm trying to think of a pit lane entry that I dislike more than Atlanta. Maybe Watkins Glen. I dislike that one a bit.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
Mount
Panorama
Panorama
next week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are
yeah,
two
and you know what
tricky
else is bad
ones.
is Dragon Trail. Because Dragon Trail, you've got to take the turn completely different, or else you
Oh
cut
yeah, you can't
completely
get
across
it.
the line.
Shaggy
Yeah, you can't get there.
Shaggy and Leo, Las Vegas say Atopolis. Agreed.
Yeah, it's a bad one.
They can't all be Laguna Seca, where you can just go full speed and you think you're gonna
Right.
die, but then it stops you.
Yeah, Mount Panorama might be the worst though. I agree with Papa on that one.
Oh yeah, I blasted into those barriers too many times.
The worst is when you mess it up and you end up back on the track and you have to do another lap.
Yeah,
And you
I
don't
was
have any
just gonna.
fuel left.
After
Right.
losing all that time.
Yeah, and you've got like 0.1 laps of fuel. You're like, oh, well, there goes that race.
Good to see Leo in the chat. I know you're a busy man, but you're a big part of PHG. You're an OG these days, if you will. That stands for Original Gamer. See what I did there?
Yeah. Clever, Dad.
I am not. Well, no, I am. I just recently got a bearded dragon. Her name is Suki. She's 1.5 years old, and she is my baby angel. So, fair enough.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very proud.
You got to post some pictures of that.
Oh, there's some out there. There's some on my channel. I've posted some shorts. She's today I got a harness and leash for her, so she can come outside when I work on my garden and sunbathe, and I don't have to worry about her scurrying off.
Nice.
I
don't know if it says
I like to
something
think
about me.
I bring something special to the PHG community.
Yeah, with Bearded Dragon, that could be one of one right there.
See,
When you said sunbathing, I don't know if it says anything about me, but I pictured your bearded dragon in a bikini, so yeah, it's messed up. But.
Oh no. I have a privacy fence. There's no tan lines here. There's no tan lines. What are you kidding? Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Thanks for the correction.
You're welcome. Oh, Papa just posted one of the shorts in the chat. If you want to check it out. Her name is Suki St. James. No improvement there from Fernando or Jack. Well, right on board the True Serum's last attempt. Coming out of the double right-hander. Which, depending on the car, in some cars, that second right-hander feels amazing. And others, it's just like, it's so brutal because it's not 90 degrees. It's just in a little bit, like maybe 80 degrees. And it's just enough to really throw you off. A little bit more curve than he's been taking. As he comes down to the final. Oh, unable to improve.
Yeah, but he pulled off over a 10th just through that little section. Still should be good to put him in third. I think that'll bump Talon back.
And take us through it, Q. You got the data in front of you.
Okay. Well, looks like we've got the True Serum coming in at 1 minute 7 seconds, 388 thousandths. That will be good to put him into third, bumping Talon back into fourth place overall for Group 1. Fernando Button coming in at 1 minute 8 seconds, 548. And Jack Skellington at 1 minute 9 seconds, 755. So good lap from DeTruth, and really solid laps from Fernando and Jack Skellington. We'll see where that cutoff ends up for the different splits, but good start for them.
So who's closest to Florinoto right now?
BPAPs.
BPAPs. Okay.
Yep,
Looks
he's
like
about
we got
4/10 up.
the proprietor himself, PHG, in the building, looking to challenge Jorge, currently fastest with a 117.875. Jorge, tell us about your practice doing this and how you feel about a 117.875 as your qualifying time.
I didn't really have to do that much practice because I mean
Must be
feels like it was
nice.
just a well, I mean it was just a few months ago that this was basically the NRL qualifier.
Yeah,
And
you're
so
right.
for that I had done like a million laps. So it's kind of like ingrained in me. And yeah, I mean I was basically like a tenth or two off. I kind of just jumped in yesterday. I wanted to get it over with. I didn't really warm up, wasn't feeling so hot. And so yeah, I mean I was a tenth or two off where I should have been. But it's not a big deal. Still okay.
Not a big deal. I
Yeah,
think
yeah, can't be disappointed.
a pre-question, or we talked about before Q, you had relates to that as far as warm up and what goes into getting
Well,
ready for a.
yeah, and you talked about it a little bit, Jorge, with preparing for the NRL qualifier. But can you just walk us through a little bit about what your pre-race routine is, how you prepare for races in general?
Yeah, I mean, for something like this, since it's an endurance race, got to kind of try and figure out how long the tires are going to last and just kind of develop a strategy. I mean, obviously, if it was like a 10 lap race with one tire, there's not much preparation you have to do in terms of that. But an hour race, there's going to probably be a couple different options. But I think at Monza, there was like a couple different strategies. And so I didn't completely test them, but it was kind of like, let me try and get an idea of what one is going to be like versus the other, which is probably faster, and then also what feels better to me, like what's more fun, because there's a lot of strategies where it's technically going to be faster, but you're driving on dead tires the whole time, right? Where it's like run the mediums down to nothing, then you run the softs or the hards down to nothing. And I generally hate those strategies just because it feels miserable the whole time and you're kind of trying to save the tire the whole time. So I just
Yeah.
kind of, yeah. So anyway, long story short, in preparation, just try and get an idea of, yeah, what are the different strategy options and which one do I like better?
Do you practice race strategy and qualifying strategy, or do you just kind of wing it through qualifying?
Well, I mean, qualifying is so short, 10 minutes. There's usually not much strategy. It's kind of like here, it's like do 4 or 5 laps and pit, get fresh tires, and just go from there. If it was like a longer qualifying, or if the whole season depended on it, like NRL, then yeah, I mean, I might do more strategy wise, but practice for this, I mean, usually I will do a decent amount of practice because there's qualifying points on the line, and then now with the format, the qualifier actually sets the grid position, which wasn't always the case. So you kind of knew, like, before, oh, if I blow the split qualifier, as long as I get in the split I want to be in, I'll have another shot at qualifying for a grid position. But now it's kind of, a one shot deal. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'll put in a fair amount of practice and try and get dialed in. But here it's just I've run a million laps at Road Atlanta, and I already know kind of my limitations. Like I know it ain't gonna get much better, so might as well just not waste the time.
Yeah. Understood. I know that we all have lives and things that take us away from the game sometimes too. So we got to pick our spots. But yeah, thanks for taking us through that. So you've been doing this a while, right? Do you know how many hours you have in GT7?
I don't know. I don't think I want to know, honestly.
Is it like it's a large amount though?
It's not. I think Moose or someone was going through it recently. It's up there, but it's not like some crazy number. I know we looked at Shaggy's. Shaggy has crazy numbers, but but I pointed out, he's hosting the lobbies and stuff,
Yeah.
so
Woo,
that's
Papa
adding on to
drifted.
those hours.
I think Papa's having fun out there. Yeah, I saw Shaggy's hours and I was like, 10,000 hours. What in the
Right,
world?
right.
I was gonna say, isn't that what they say, to be the best at something you got to
The
put at
mass,
least 10,000?
yeah, to master something.
Yeah. So if we had some people just kind of somewhat new to sim racing or GT7 or just competitive racing, what would be some pointers that you'd give Jorge as somebody who's obviously gone through it and developed some pace and has seen some success?
I mean, for me, one of the biggest things I think was I used to I didn't usually play the game every day. I'd play once every 3 or 4 days, and every time I'd get on, I feel like I'm trying to relearn
Mm,
whatever it was I was working on. Right, if it was a daily race time trial, I'd have to like start from scratch after those 3 days. So I mean, I don't know. People want to get better. I think even just jumping on an extra 5 or 10 minutes a day and just kind of
yeah,
keeping it fresh and kind of keeping the ball rolling, I think that can probably make a big difference. Like it made a big difference for me.
that
I
can be
just got
said.
more and more into the game, and so I'd get on more frequently. Just not like I was forcing myself to. I just was, working on a league thing or whatever, and just yeah, it's the more I would get on, the more I'd play. It just like stuff started coming more naturally.
Yeah, like good
Yeah.
repetition. That I've experienced that as well. Like uh before I got into all the production stuff, like I was doing dailies every day. I was at least an hour a day, and the progression was there. And then the more I got involved in this other stuff, it took away from that, and I've seen the progression
Right,
stop. And I'm a self-taught guitarist, and in the times where I purposely bought a small couch guitar as a guitar that I would pick up every day, even if it's just for 5 minutes, and fiddle with. And it's like
right.
it's that same thing of like if you can just make yourself do it, even if you're not doing anything competitive, but just to keep yourself in the system. That's great advice, Jorge.
Yeah, and I think, and the best thing about that, not to say advice, but whatever, it worked for me is it's just kind of brainless, right? It's not like highly technical. You're not sitting there trying to break down a braking zone or looking at someone else's data. It's literally just get on and just run laps. You don't even have to like think about it. I just think that like just that repetition in and of itself is helpful.
And I don't know
Yeah,
about
and
y'all. The I've had like issues in my real life that I'm having trouble processing and like figuring out either what I want to say or the decision I need to make. And I found that getting lost in a daily or just some type of racing in some lobbies has helped me figure out, like I'll be in the middle of a race and be like, "Oh, I should say that." And like for some reason, just being in that flow state, you can kind of allow your brain to expand.
yeah, well, it's nice, if I speak from my own experience, um, you know, work can get to be a lot, and sometimes it's really nice to just hop on the game, get in my flow state. Everything else goes away, um, and I'm not thinking about that stuff from work or whatever. So that is nice. But the advice, Jorge, to just keep your practice fresh and how that relates back to like learning an instrument, like you brought up PKs. Um, that's great, and it's actually not advice that I've heard before. I've heard about breaking down a lap and really working to understand um, you know where you're losing time if you're comparing against the ghost or comparing against a top time in the time trials. But the familiarity is huge. um, I think
Well,
the people that struggle the most, or I'll have people come to my house and just jump on my rig, and the biggest problem that they have, obviously, with beyond being unfamiliar with the physics of the game, they just don't know the tracks.
Yeah,
They
knowing the
have no
tracks,
right.
idea when to
right?
break. So that's a big part of it.
That's
Well,
what
and
I
I
love
think
about the
look at
ghost, being able to load a ghost. Like that's huge for me. It can be a crutch, but like I played iRacing and some other games, and learning a track without having a guide can be very difficult.
Yeah, and I think if you look at a lot of the streamers too, not to say that those guys are not fast in their own right, and they're talented and they put in whatever work they need to reach a high level, but at the same time, a lot of those guys are doing the same daily race for
Over
four
eight
4 to 5
hours.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 hours, 8 hours per day for the entire week, and they're incredibly fast. And it's like, damn, how'd that guy get so fast? It's like, well,
They
the
put in the
guy's
effort. It's
doing
their full-time
8 hours a
job.
day, right? 8 hours a
when
day
you're
on the
able,
same track.
that's how I was like early on before I got involved in all the other stuff within YouTube. It was like I was playing probably 3 hours a day, and I progressed quickly. I was competitive. And then once I, kind of started taking a break from doing dailies almost every day, you definitely see that drop off of just not being in it. And Super GT had posted a video recently. He's incredibly fast and has progressed to a real life race car driver. But he was like, I haven't played GT7, and he lost his A+ within like a couple days. And like
Yeah, I saw that.
his latest video today was getting that back. But the video before that of him being like, I haven't played this, and I'm not good like I used to be. He got it back
struggling.
quickly.
It was pretty slow.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible what that even just a couple days, but he had been weeks and weeks off, and
I think months. He
impressive.
said, right? So
because they've been heavy into the Nürburgring endurance and all that, and look at that, Miss Chronicles, Mr. Covington, here in it. He's going to show us what A+ drivers are all about.
This better be a good
purple
lap.
and black.
Purple and black, always and forever. Mist, a.k.a. Tussenbox, another fellow commentator within the PHG World Series community. I've had the privilege of commentating with him many a time, and he always has a great insight. He also, if you check out his YouTube or Twitch channel, does these hilarious one-man band but Guitar Hero, where he does all the parts and it switches between each one. He's wearing something different and playing a different part. It's incredible. Check out.
It is very good.
I love it. He's a goofy dude and he's super fast. So go check out Tussenbox. He mainly streams on Twitch, but also has a YouTube channel as well. And he's always in the purple and black.
That sounds like it's worth a watch. I'm gonna have to remember that.
No, it's awesome. And there's a guy who does covers of like pop music and does them in like emo punk and pop punk versions. Like he'll take Beyonce and make it sound like Fall Out Boy or something like that. And he'll do the same thing where it's only him. He records it all separately and then makes a video where it looks like he's a whole band. And it's just him. And that's exactly what Tuzzum does, but he's playing Guitar Hero or Garage Band, whatever it is. It takes time and effort.
Yeah, I think it'd be one of those things, you put the time and effort into it, and the final product, you're like, wow, that's cool.
And you're like, I
think it would be cool. So
that's a 5-minute video. I spent 3 days on that. That's my problem. I got my computer, and I used to, when I was younger, I loved editing videos. But my attention span, I don't know, I guess that can happen with age. It has gone out the window. And like, I made like 2 videos where I took, days with multiple hours of editing and ended up with a 20-minute video. And I was like, nope, wasn't worth it. Sorry.
Do you think we all have TikTok brain now? Is that what's going on?
I don't have the TikTok. I resist the social medias. YouTube is my my social media. I got rid of the Facebooks back in 2010, Instagram 2020, and never got on board with the TikToks. It just makes me too angry.
Well, I mean, I'm not on TikTok either. I meant just as a phrase, like a
joke.
term.
Our brains, yes.
TikTok brain, yeah.
It's because I got the first Pokemon on Game Boy Color. I think that's what happened. I got that, and it all just went out the window after that.
So it looks like Mr. Covington, Tussenbox, dropped a pretty decent first lap here. And I think he had a couple of mistakes that he'll be looking to correct.
Yeah, his first sector was terrible.
Yeah. Wait, we told you not to say that.
I won't say it about any of the other drivers, but with Mr. Box, I mean, come on.
So yeah, so I think he's got some opportunity to lay down a pretty decent time, possibly challenge for a pole here.
Yeah,
I don't think
so.
he's real happy with this lap either, but there's opportunity there.
No improvement there. Lap number 4. Is this going to be his last fly, or is he going to come into the pits after this, Jorge?
No, I think he'll keep going unless he screws it up.
Yeah, turn 3 is giving him a lot of trouble here, but once he gets that taken care of, I think he'll be in a lot better shape. But yeah, it's a little bit early to come in, I would think.
Ooh, as he runs wide, but he does improve. Is that going to be a penalty? We'll see.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, there it
That'll
is.
be a penalty.
Let's see if we can see this. Where did he run wide as he comes through
was
the
only-
S's here?
He was only wide by like 15 or 20 feet, so they got him.
They got him.
Just a bit wide.
So Jack in chat brings up something. Who's excited for, or who's ready for the new update? I don't know about you guys. I was shocked to see the wet cars come in, especially after the success of LMU and kind of LMU seeming to have a monopoly on wet.
I was surprised, and I'm very excited.
I'm not a Group 1 fan, but I do love those cars, and I do go to WEC and IMSA races in real life, so cool to see those. Maybe adding those cars will get me more into Group 1. I'm not sure. But it's going to be cool.
Anything other than another Econo box or a Soccer Mom van, right?
Those are fun if you know how to race them.
Could not.
I knew you would
disagree
stand
more.
up for those.
I'm gonna
Right.
stay because they do make for fun race. Is that what everybody wants? No, absolutely not. But that you can have fun. But they typically don't make good dailies. You're right. Understandable. Q, what's your relationship as far as WEC and IMSA? Is that something you follow, or you just like the race cars, seeing them in the game?
I just like to race the cars in the game. I really don't follow sport too much. The only
Fair enough.
exception for that is hockey. I'm a big hockey guy.
What's your team? What's your team?
Well, the Hawks have been my team, but the Hawks have been really bad, so there's not a lot to be excited about other than hopefully some of their tank activities will pay off. Hopefully,
Sure.
but it's hard to get behind that, as a fan.
Yeah.
But but I mean, I'm watching the Stanley Cup Finals now. I think that's the most entertaining sport.
You
the
just
hardest
like
trophy
good.
to win.
You just want to watch good hockey.
I just want to watch good hockey. I'm a fan of the sport first.
Yep. That's how I am
And I
about
think-
motorsports, and specifically F1. Like, I have my favorite drivers, but I just want to see good racing. I could care less, honestly, who won, as long as the racing was good.
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. I certainly want to see my team win, but I'm also not that guy who is all about rivalries. Some people.
Yep.
I'm sure you guys have them. Where like you've got your team and then the rival, and you hate the rival. So for like the Blackhawks, it was always the Red Wings, and I never hated the Red Wings. And that's like blasphemy to say for a Blackhawk fan. But one of my favorite players of all time was Pavel Datsyuk, and he was a Red Wing.
There you
So
go.
I just don't subscribe to that stuff.
I like it. So back to Group 1.
Tells
You're
him his way
excited.
up.
Yeah, he is. See, as he comes across the line here down the final turn, and it does look good. A 1:07.484. Very nice time from Miss Chronicles, aka Tuzzin. So of these new Group 1 cars, Q, what are you most excited for?
I haven't even looked into it. I
Okay.
don't even have any input on that. I saw that there were some, and that's all I know.
What about you, Jorge?
Definitely the Beamer and the Ferrari. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, the Fartrari. The Fartrari. I'm sorry.
I'm excited for the Ferrari. I've been a fan of that. I got on board with it before they started dominating. I mean, they came out dominating, but
Oh,
when-
you were in at the ground floor. Got
on
it.
the ground floor of Ferrari. I was there when they started. I was in Italy. It was crazy. War torn Italy. I was there,
Right.
and I got on board with Ferrari. No, but the specifically the off-color Ferrari, the one that's yellow versus the two that are red.
Yeah. Is that a privateer
Yeah,
or
it's
something?
the
I
private
forget.
one. Yeah, that's the private one. And several former F1 drivers that I've been fans of have driven for them. When I was
one
with
of them?
WEC, when I was at WEC, they ended up. We all picked a car before qualifying who we wanted to win, and that was the one I picked, and they ended up winning. So I've been on board with them. But the BMW is great. I was at their debut at Daytona for IMSA, and they did not do well. They were way off, but such a cool looking car.
Yeah. It's the one time where that grill actually looks pretty good.
With the neon lights, like, come on,
Yeah.
at night, you can't go wrong. I guess they won't do Acura because they technically don't have Acura in this game. They only have Honda, is my only thought with Acura, and that was kind of my thought with Cadillac because they just have Chevrolet. They don't have the rights to the other ones. But then they added Peugeot and Alpine and Porsche, or no
Yeah,
Alpine, just Porsche. Porsche and Peugeot.
Oh yeah, Porsche. That's cool too. I forgot about that. I mean, no one cares
They've
about the Peugeot.
dominated.
Let's be honest.
Peugeot was interesting because they showed up out of the gate with no wing. They were the only car with no rear wing. And they tried something different, and it took a minute, but now they've been very competitive. So it's pretty cool. You got to give them some respect.
Got mixed on his last lap here.
Final one.
Seeing if he can.
That should be.
But
Oh, I think he'll get. I think he's going to get away with that.
yeah, it was pretty close.
Oh.
Oh no!
Whoop,
And then he just
there it
slammed it
is.
on. Yeah, I think he had a feeling that might not have gone over.
Yep. Would have been funny if he didn't get a penalty and still did that.
It would have been, yeah. Yeah, he didn't miss it by much, but it doesn't take much. So that's gonna slot him in, I believe, just behind Talon then.
No. Sorry.
Shout out to Mishi. She's keeping things current. Great job. Thank you.
Thanks, Mishi. We appreciate you. What a great addition to the PHG community. Woo!
Talon, what in the world did I just see?
Let's take a look at
I think
this.
he's got to get
but
DQ'd for this.
But on board here, for those VR drivers, he's in a different car. This has a bit more visual room than
What is he in? I didn't even notice.
There's two different Audis, right? Or am I wrong? Maybe it was just a different camera angle.
No, I think
Looks
there
like
is.
a Joker lap right there.
Yep.
Shout out to Sal.
Shout out to Salamander. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know enough about Group 1. It just looked like there
I
was
think
more
that's-
visibility.
Oh no, yeah, he is in the 2016.
Okay,
I think
there
there
we
is
go.
a
There's two different
2011
Group
or
1s. Yeah.
something.
And the Monster. Now, energy drinks. This is a great topic. I'm a Red Bull man. I like the taste of crushed up sweet tarts. If you didn't know that that's what Red Bull tasted like, it does taste like crushed up sweet tarts. But I am anti-sugar free. I do not like the taste of sugar-free beverages. Where are y'all on energy drinks, and what is your favorite? We'll start with you, Q.
I am not very interesting to interview. I don't drink any energy drinks, and I very rarely drink any caffeinated drinks at all.
That's interesting, because I am different than that.
Yeah, how are you living?
I
That's a
couldn't
good
imagine.
question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about tea?
When I drink, I'll drink tea sometimes, but and I'll have the occasional soda. But the problem is when I have caffeinated beverages, like I'll drink a soda in the morning. I'm
you
not
shit
sleeping
your pants,
that night.
right?
I mean, well,
Just kidding.
that happens all the time anyway.
Anyways, You know, you can't
that's
sleep.
just a normal Saturday.
I made the mistake of having an afternoon energy drink, and I was up till 4 in the morning, and I was so pissed off just laying in bed. So I get that.
Yeah,
All right, so Miss Covington with a 107.484, very impressive. We now have a split one cutoff time of 109.755. So Miss Covington in top split. Jorge, to you with the energy drink question.
You know, I don't think I've had an energy drink in 10 years. I do drink a lot of coffee, but yeah, I mean, I used to survive on, I loved sugar-free Red Bull,
Oof.
Monster, everything. Because I was in school forever. And so,
that'll do
yeah,
it. That'll do it.
I lived off that stuff.
That'll do it. I'll have a small, like the 8-ounce, the standard Red Bull, maybe at most twice a week in the mornings. Usually I'll have one before I go mountain biking Sundays. And then I'll occasionally have the Monster Rehab tea lemonade. And those are the two, but I cannot have anything after 2 p.m. or I'm done so.
Right.
Can't do it. What kind of coffee are you drinking? Are you drinking espresso? Or are you making it yourself?
Yeah, I live a block away from Starbucks, so I'm down there every day and just get basically, I'm just gonna lie and say I get a black coffee.
Okay, fair enough. I got about 5 years ago. I got my own like nice espresso machine where I grind my own beans, weigh it out, and pull my own shots. And so I've gotten to the point. If I don't drink coffee that often, but if I am, I'm pulling my own double shot, drinking it straight from the local roaster.
Yeah, I mean, I see people do that, and I'm jealous, and it looks great, and it looks amazing. I know I've wanted to do it for a long time. I've just never gotten around to it.
So I wouldn't have ever done it, but my former wife got it for me for my birthday, the Breville Barista Express, and it's the best simple option there is. Like, you can definitely go better, but as far as like you don't want to put in GT7 hours like you've already done to master GT7, you can still have a good time pulling shots from that. McNaughty, my fellow Upshift Meteor and the proprietor of the NRL, he loves high downforce cars, coming around. Let's get some data on the screen, shall we? Outlap complete.
We got Tuzzum in the studio here.
Tuzzum, welcome, welcome. Take it away. I'm going to step away to the Whiz Palace.
Hello.
What's up, man?
How'd that go for you out there?
Honestly, I only did like 15 minutes of practice before, so I can't say if it was good or bad. Jorge, I can't remember who pointed out. They pointed out that my first sector was just terrible.
That was Q. That was Q or T case, I think.
Oh yeah, totally. That was me. I'm gonna take that one.
Yeah,
my voice was very deep though when I said it, so it might have sounded not like me. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad of a lap. I need to watch Florinda, how he got that 106.9. Would have taken me another couple hours to get that.
I think a lot of people are not sending in enough through turn one. That's where a lot of time is. I don't think he was braking at all. I think he was just downshifting, and I tried that earlier. I mean, you can make T1 without any brakes, and I've seen so far pretty much everyone who's gone has used a lot of brakes into T1.
Oh, that's some good insight for anybody who's listening. And because, again, I haven't done anything in the Group 1 cars, but it's the same in the Group 3 cars. Not that you don't need any brakes, but that's where you're going to make a ton of time in your lap or lose a ton of time in your lap.
Right. Has this started yet, or is this warm up?
No, this is official.
Yep, this is it.
Okay.
Try to keep up, Jorge.
Doesn't have to hear that very often, I bet.
I missed it. What he said?
Said
something
try to
about
keep
you're
up.
slow and you're not very good at this game or something like that.
Yeah.
So McNaughty coming in with a 108.7 to get going. So there's some room for improvement there. I think he's certainly going to improve this lap. Oh, Well, maybe
Or
not. Oh, that's right. While we were talking about T1, I think yeah, he seems to struggle a little bit with T1, so
Who,
probably just
McNaughty?
working to dial that in. Yeah,
I mean, it's tough because you've got what 5 laps or 6 laps to make it happen, and you really got to send it. And if you screw it up, then your whole lap is shot. But yeah, I mean, you really got to chuck it in there. It's either make or break the lap, or it's several tenths.
Good
Yeah.
sportsmanship from McDottie, getting out of the way, recognizing Felmora was on a better lap than him for sure.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Felmora came in with a 108.3 there on his last lap, so putting down some good times.
Felmora, no slouch, no slouch. Tussum, I don't know
for these drivers hitting 107s.
Yeah, they are definitely that caliber. Barely above a 107 with a 108. McNaughty coming into the pits. Tussum, I was telling them about your awesome one-man band, Guitar Hero rock band action, where you play every instrument and film it and show it as if you are one unit.
Yeah.
When did you start doing that, and what inspired you to do that? Because there's a guy I do watch on YouTube that does that with real instruments, and so I'm just curious.
So I bought an electronic drum set because I wanted to learn and practice playing drums, and then I realized that I can use that drum set to play Clone Hero, which is basically like Guitar Hero, but it's on PC, and you can download almost any
right?
song that you can think of.
Yeah.
And I can't remember exactly how it happened, but I just had this random inspiration that just said, what if I just record myself like a 4-piece band and just playing everything? I did it for one song and people enjoyed it, so
yeah,
I did a couple more. I got 1 or 2 still planned. I just gotta sit down and record everything.
As somebody who does other random things on YouTube other than GT7, and who just loves music, and I believe my college years, the reason I basically flunked out of college and got kicked out before I went back was heavily influenced by Guitar Hero and Rock Band, so I appreciated seeing that.
Yeah, as a small content creator that doesn't rely on the YouTube algorithm, I'm glad that I can branch out and kind of upload what I want to upload, as opposed to certain people like, oh, I have to do this, otherwise I'll lose money and this, that, and the other.
And that's been something like that was big for me, because originally my YouTube channel was literally just because I don't do Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. It was like, hey, this is a thing I can do where my friends who don't live here or family, if they want to see what I'm doing, they can see what I'm doing. Especially my brother who lives halfway across the country, is like a way for us to share hanging out and playing video games like we used to. But it's like, this is my hobby channel, and whatever I'm feeling is my hobby right now. That's what's going to be on there regardless of. And I've been doing that with the Thursday Night Thunder. That is not a popular YouTube thing, but man, do we have fun playing that dumb game, NASCAR 25.
So it looks like McNaughty improved to an 8.4. Getting closer to that 107, but I think he's still got some time in the tank.
Yeah, most definitely. It's just it's a tricky. It looks that way anyway. Again, I haven't done any laps in a Group 1 car here, but it looks like a really tricky track in a Group 1 car.
Yeah, I'm always shocked when IMSA comes here and does multi-class racing here. It's like, it's not a big track. I mean, they're doing this in just over a minute. It is a short, tight, and not smooth track at all. What were you saying, Q?
I think that was Jorge.
Oh, Jorge.
Yeah, I was just going to say, everyone's really struggling in that first sector, or really T1 and then right at the top of the hill. That's what's giving everyone a problem.
I think these cars are just too low to the ground. seems to be, because this is a track that you abuse the curbs, and we're seeing it in these Group 1 cars. They're kind of avoiding them, and it's showing in their lap times.
Yeah, and maybe that's the play, you know. Again, I'm not familiar, but I know in the Group 3 car, I mean, you almost want the assist from the curb in every corner. I can't think of one that you don't. So
yeah, look at Filmora avoiding that. Like, you can see the dirt where the grass has been worn from so many cars cutting that apex, and they're just staying off of it. We saw a lot of Group 3 driving last night. It's been mostly Group 1. We have 1 cutoff for Group 1. We have 2 cutoffs for Group 3. Ooh, with a 0.73 up on his current best lap. And there he goes. There he's abusing the curves, at least the first one. Keeps it on the track, coming down to the final corners here. Flat out, obviously, up into 5th gear and across the line, able to improve to a 108.152. Let's see where Filmora is. He is on the back straight here. We'll stay on with McNaughty through this first part, see how he gets through this tricky bit, and then we'll go on to Filmora into the braking zone of the chicane. There we go. We saw some dirt kick up again, abusing the track, taking the shortest line across the line. Is he up? Is he down? He is up. There it is.
Nice lap. So that's going to be it for Filmora.
It looks like McNaughty's done too. He's going awfully slow, but I don't see the cautions.
He started to lose it out of that little uphill section.
Gotcha. He'll be across the line, and that'll be it for this round of qualifying. We got just under 2 hours to go. I'm not as nice as last night's broadcasting as McNaughty cuts the corners. If you're not ready to go by 10 p.m., we are not continuing. I make the rules because I'm running the broadcast.
Who put this guy in charge?
Yo, the proprietor, entrusted me.
Oh, okay.
Don't question Papa.
I'm not. Yeah, once you say that, I'm done. Not questioning it any further.
Actually, Shaggy could technically keep the lobby going, and I just end the broadcast, but don't tell anybody.
Your secret is safe with me. No one will know.
No one will know. Phew. All right, here we got it. Filmora with a 107.873, pulling it out there at the end. Very nicely. Where does that put him overall, Q?
That's going to put him into 6th position, I believe. Slotting in just a little bit ahead of McNaughty, who's dropping behind him in 7th position. So McNaughty will be at the cutoff line here for split 1. So, you know, both really solid laps.
Very solid, very solid. I've got a question here for all of y'all, and that is equipment. We have drivers who we know are fast on controller with various assistant settings. We have various levels of force feedback, and a big thing with our sponsor SimNet is pedals. And I hear pedals are super important, but I'd like to hear from each of y'all about what you're racing on and how you feel. The equipment matters. Obviously, it's not the most important, but it can make a difference. Tuzem, since you just joined us after racing, what are you rocking, and how do you feel equipment equates to performance?
So I'll say this before I say what I'm driving on, but equipment ultimately doesn't matter. You know, you have slow wheel drivers, you have fast controller drivers, you have drivers that have driven on controller and have qualified for the World Series, most prestigious event in GT7. So, like, getting a wheel isn't automatically going to make you faster, but it can. Now, that being said, I have a DD Plus, I have a Porsche podium wheel, and I have the Fanatec V3 pedals.
Oh, the V3s.
Yeah, I used to have the CSLs,
Uh-huh.
and they're like a few steps below the V3s. I will say upgrading to the V3s, I don't know if it's improved my driving, but they just feel a lot better because the brake pedal was extremely stiff on the CSL, so
Yes,
it's
they
like
really are.
it's very very little travel to full braking, and it's hard to really um, nail your braking.
And
Um,
what is necessary to make the Fanatec pedals work with the Logitech?
I don't my wheelbase is a Fanatec too.
Oh, I misheard you. I'm sorry. I was like,
Yeah.
how are you making that work? That's
Magic.
crazy. Okay,
I
very
think
cool.
I think what people do is like I think they just connect the wheel separately from the pedals. They just connect them both for the PS3 or PS5. I think that works. If not, they also have the drive hub, which lets you mix and match. If I'm not mistaken.
Cool. And how about you, Q?
I've got the GT Pro base and wheel, and I've got the actually the new Simnet pedals that were.
Okay,
Um,
I'm
Nice.
thinking about getting them. Tell me about that.
I really like them. They came highly recommended. C-Dubs was he's recommended them. He's put stuff in the Discord about them, and we talked about it. But I had the V3s prior, and I liked them, but I felt like I was just missing something with feel.
Okay.
And I really do like the Simnets. I do think they're an upgrade over the V3s. The control with the brake is for me much. It's smoother. It's more intuitive with the Simnet pedals, and the throttle took me a little bit of time to get used to, but overall I like everything about it better. I will say if anybody's interested in Simnet and you're going to get them, there's a plate. You can change out your pedal plates. The ones that come with it, I didn't like them at all. They're just really small, and so you can buy a conversion kit with a bigger pedal plate. So if you're thinking about picking them up, I would recommend for sure get them with the the adder for the additional pedal plate.
Interesting. I went on their website and I got overwhelmed because it seemed like there was a million different options and add-ons. Did you have that experience, or are you just smarter than me? Or both?
I had that experience, and I talked to C-Dubs a little bit about it, but then I read through some of their literature as well to understand what all I'm looking at, because I was same thing. I was like, what?
Yeah, there's
What
a
are all
million
these
different
different-
options. Yeah.
Yeah, what are all these different options? What do these acronyms even mean? With a good first sector, I'll point out. But yeah, so I read up on it. I talked to C-Dubs about it. Made some decisions. Really, all those acronyms, all those different variables, most of them are just related to the drawing a blank on what you call the haptics.
Okay.
And I went with the like the highest grade, but honestly, I don't know that that's really needed.
Sure.
So I wouldn't recommend it, I suppose, for going for the most expensive haptics. I
Interesting.
think I might have wasted some money there.
Great time there by Wid. We know how fast he is. That's going to be top of this round as Sheldologist, another fast driver across the line. So that brings us over to you, Jorge. What are you rocking, and what are your thoughts as far as equipment goes?
Yeah, I mean, I disagree with Tuzum a bit. I think equipment can definitely help. Obviously there are people who are incredibly fast on controller or like lower end Logitech wheels, but I feel like those people are probably outliers. So I have a DD Plus and just that one wheel and the V2 pedals, and I definitely noticed that I feel like I got faster almost immediately when I got all this stuff, and just makes the game more fun, makes you want to play more. So, I think that's in and of itself is going to make it faster. But I think Wid's looking pretty good here.
He is. That's been the thing for me is I tell everybody is regardless if it makes you faster, you're probably going to have more fun. Like it makes it way more immersive and just great time. 107.0.
Yeah, and a lot of people say, pedals are the most important thing. So if you have low-end Logitech wheel, you should always upgrade your pedals first because that's going to make the biggest difference in terms of your pace. But
Yeah, I've heard
I
that.
had a Logitech 923 or whatever, and I hated it. And the Fanatec is 10 times more fun.
Yeah.
And so regardless of what the pace is, who cares about the pace? You know, it's like,
Yeah. Are
do
you
you want to
having a
have
good
more?
time?
Do you want to have more fun, or do you want to go find 3/10 allegedly? So,
And that's been a struggle for me. I was lucky enough as Wid butchers that turn there, Sheldologist looking to get a better line. One of my subscribers gifted me PSVR2, and like that was something I
Yeah.
never really wanted. And can I race against other people? Absolutely not. In that thing, my time trials are faster, but I can't. My
Really?
awareness is gone. Like it did improve. I can brake later for some reason. My time trials are quicker, but is it more fun? Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely, it's more fun. But I've been looking at getting those SimNet, upgrading my pedals. I started with no load cell, I started with the Thrustmaster T150, which was belt driven. I saw enough people on the Logitechs and all the noise that I was hearing through their streams from those gears clanking drove me crazy.
Oh yeah.
So I went
Yeah.
with the Thrustmaster that's belt driven, and then after about 3 years, got the DD Pro, the DD Pro, and then bought secondhand from another subscriber a load cell brake pedal. But that's been several years, so I do kind of want to get maybe a little bit nicer brakes here. But it's fun to see because I mean, as long as you're having fun, it doesn't matter. Because I know people who have a controller and also have a wheel, but they enjoy the controller better, and more power
Right.
to you. If that's
Yeah.
what you
Well,
want, do it.
I'm jealous of those people because I know they're just sitting on their couch with
Yeah.
their legs
Yeah.
kicked up, relaxing, and I'm
Super
sitting here
comfortable.
throwing
Sweating,
this stupid ass steering wheel around. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
moist like a
Um,
towelette.
Right.
One thing that I would say though that I noticed, because when I went from controller to wheel, yeah, I think it's common, but I was probably slower for about a month until I got really
same.
used to driving the wheel. But one thing I will certainly say is my tire management is so much better on
Yeah.
the wheel. So I mean, I can probably get twice as many laps out of a set of tires on a wheel than I was getting on my controller.
Interesting.
So it's a bit of maybe a bit of a cheat code in that regard.
Yeah, and it like.
Did you guys see the same thing, Tuzum and TCase and Jorge?
I was slower. I wasn't playing enough competitively to notice the tire change, but I do know it took me a hot minute to get used to the Thrustmaster. And then when you fork out all that money to get the Fanatec, and I definitely was slower, and I was like, what have I done? But then once I got
Right.
used to it, it's that same thing we were talking about at the beginning of the stream. If you take any time off or change anything, it's going to take you a hot minute to get used to it. But I mean, it's just so much fun, and I think that's why we're all here, is because we enjoy doing it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Oh no. Wade went off on his outlap,
All right, Widow Buddy, come on.
so he'll have time for maybe one more flyer, or he might maybe two.
See,
Yeah,
this
Math
we
is
wheel
hard.
more.
for sure.
I'm surprised to see that from Wade. It's not like he abused the curbs too much or anything. Just, what do you think, Jorge? You just got on the throttle a bit too quickly?
Yeah, when I was doing laps earlier, I did that a bunch of times through there. You're trying to set up your flyer, and so you're really trying to get on the power as hard and as early as possible, and then it can kind of get a little squirrely right there where it's bumpy going up the hill.
Yeah, and then right as you crest the hill, I mean, there's no grip there for a second. So if you start to wiggle, it's just gonna, have a life of its own.
That was one thing. I had my Thrustmaster. I really didn't. I played the original 2 Gran Turismos as a kid, but I went away from the PlayStation route through my middle and high school state. So I really didn't play the other Gran Turismo. So it wasn't until GT Sport that I got into it, and then I got the Thrustmaster. But like I remember watching, the big streamers, Super GT, Rory, and they would catch stuff that I'm like, how are you catching it? And then when I got the direct drive, I was like, oh, that's how you're catching it, because you felt it way before you feel it on, the base model Logitech, the base model Thrustmaster. So that is a big benefit of the direct drive is, I do autocross. So in autocross, you feel it in your butt. You can feel the back end let go in your seat. And the DD or the direct drive does a good job of at least giving you a slight warning that the back is coming out.
Yeah, it's much easier. That's like the first thing I noticed going from belt drive to direct drive, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't have a belt drive. I went right to direct drive, but I had the same experience as T-Case. I'd watch the guys on YouTube, the streamers. I'm like, how in the hell are they catching their spins
Right?
like that? I couldn't consistently do it on controller, and once I got used to it on the direct drive, I was same realization. T-Case, like, oh, I can feel it before it gets away from me, so I'm starting to correct before I'm out of control.
Yeah,
So.
it's letting you know just a little bit before. It's cool. My brother has he went the same route as me as far as, like, I had the T150, and he was like, okay, I'll follow that route. But then he stayed within Thrustmaster, and he has the T598, and he hasn't gotten the new pedals, but I actually preferred the T598 wheel and wheelbase than I did my Fanatec, but the pedals I couldn't stand. So I'm curious. Hopefully, he gets the new pedals in the near future, and I can try that out. But I did enjoy the T598. Wait up again. He's going to be in the 106s.
Yep.
This might be pole position.
Yeah, I think it's going to be.
Got potential.
So this brings up something, Jorge, you had brought up earlier as far as the way qualifying works. He's not able to do it, and
lost it all. Looked pretty good too.
But as far as the qualifying being done during the week and that such where you are in the race, do you like that compared to other leagues?
I don't know. Good question. I mean, I like that it's going to doing it this way. Yes, cuts down on the time on race day. I personally, I think a better approach. Well, I would prefer just one qualifier at the very beginning of the season, and then you don't have the midweek qualifier, because I think that can add
time.
It can add quite a bit of time, because then you're like, oh shit, I gotta grind. I gotta grind this qualifier if it's something you're not good at or not familiar with.
You have to be ready by Wednesday instead of ready by Saturday.
Yeah, you got to grind it for the first couple days of the week, and then once you're done with that, then you have to put in the time for the race, right? Then after Wednesday, you're like, now I got 2 days to figure out the strategy for this hour endurance race. So, but it's a give and take. I mean, I do see all the reasons why it's beneficial to do
as
it this
a
way
viewer. I like it because each race is different, right? And so you get the best race each time, but perhaps maybe doing the qualifying to determine your split, I like that, but also having a qualifying for the race so that you can get in the flow race day, pretty cool. But it is fun to see different drivers in different splits, seeing where maybe they're just having an off week, they're in a lower split. So as a broadcaster and viewer, I think it's beautiful. Let's look here. WID 107.055. Excellent time there. That's going to be P2. Shelda with a 107.336. When Q gets back, we'll find out where that puts him overall. But excellent driving there from everybody. And it looks like we have a few newbies in here. We got Jeffrey. We got Corridor. We got Saint and Krulov. So a bit more active of a qualifying as the night goes on. We have about an hour and a half left. I'm strict about cutoff times. I don't make exceptions. So get in here, put your quali down. You're not going to get any better doing some extra laps. So get in here and make it happen, Captain. Old Man Pip joining the building. So there's 2 cars, Tuzum, for Group 1, correct? Or is there just one?
Well, technically there's 3.
Okay, but really
as
only
far as
2.
as viability goes, it's only 1.
Yeah, what's up with that Porsche? Is it a battery issue or it's just off pace?
It's really heavy, really understeered compared to the Audi. When I did what little practice I did earlier tonight, my first sector in the Porsche was 8/10 slower than the
Wow.
Audi.
And it looks like Q is back. Q, if you don't mind, where does Sheldologist sit overall with that time?
Yeah, 4th overall currently, just behind BPAPs.
Oh, wow. It's getting tight up there. Split 1. I guess it makes sense. A tricky track for those Group 1 cars, not as much of a traditional one for Gran Turismo, if you will. Really separating the group up a bit. I think we're going to see quite a few drivers that we expect in Group 1 drop down to Groups 2 and 3. As we have 4 drivers here.
Yeah, potentially, depending on how things go from here on out, yeah, we've got a pretty packed lobby. Interesting thing is, looking at the times, the difference in the first place qualifier right now for Group 1, Florinota, at 106.9, and Tuzum here with us now at 107.4. That's 7 drivers within a half a second. So,
wow,
it's pretty tight.
Love to see it. We know how talented Corridor is, Division B champion of the NRL and a great performer in PHG World Series. We know he's competitive. Jeffrey, really a newcomer here in this season. It's been great to see him participate. He's also participated in the Joker Series. Love to see this grow. And, I mean, McNaughty said it at the beginning of the year. I don't remember if it was in a live stream or a video he posted, but he said 2026 is the year of Gran Turismo leagues. And as far as I've seen, he is absolutely correct. We got new teams
there's
here
a lot
at
of
NBR Saint. Yeah, go ahead.
Lot of very fast drivers join that VIP league.
Yep. That'll
So I
be
think
coming
that's
to
gonna
you all
be-
this summer. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
that'll
all
be pretty
quick.
interesting to watch.
I mean,
So-
they have Cyrus Nicky has been a staple in NRL. DeCrawler, Left to Pass You. I mean, VIP. Cornbread joined VIP, right? He was part of CBR.
Yep.
It's been, yeah, they're a force to be reckoned with.
Jorge, are you participating in that series?
No, I don't think so. I need a break. I'm doing this for fun and then just chilling.
I will say
You
that the
said you
VIP
needed a break
league.
before this season too.
Right.
Just want to
What's
point
that?
that out.
Sounds
I
like-
said you needed a break before this season too.
Right,
Here
I know.
you are.
That's why I'm doing Group 3.
Sounds like his competitive side is ends up whispering in his ear a little bit.
It's FOMO.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. I get
I
it.
understand that. That's how I ended up doing what I'm doing. I did the first 2 seasons of NRL, and I was like, that was so much work. I don't know if I'm going to do anymore. And it got to the time,
Right.
and McNaughty messaged me for season 3, and he's like, we're going to have 2 splits. We're going to be doing it 2 days. We're bringing in a new crew. Can you do it? And I was like, I wanted to say no, but I couldn't. I was like, I can't just sit on the sidelines, and now
Right.
here I am doing what I'm doing.
Signed,
I
sealed,
hear you.
delivered.
But yeah, the VIP league, it's a big ask. It's not a light league. NRL's probably the lightest league as far as number of races. PHG's pretty demanding, but the VIP one,
NRL's light on numbers, but at least to me, it feels high on stress.
yes,
And I think what adds to that is how few races there are,
yep,
because every race is like very crucial.
it matters.
So, and it's always some wacky combo.
I love
so
it.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I
I
love it.
love NRL, but yes, it feels real sweaty to me. And then this league feels pretty chill and fun in comparison.
Yeah,
VIP I think will be pretty rough.
Yeah, VIP is going to be interesting, especially the competition. I know McNaughty's helping S7R or IRO with the Red Bull Junior League. I need to look into that because I love racing the Red Bull Juniors, and if I'm able to participate in that, I think that would be something I'd like to do.
Yeah, that'll probably be pretty good.
Pull you out of retirement, TKs.
Right? I only drive road cars on sport tires.
Yeah, you should do like a Civic hatchback league or something.
So I try to do multi-class, not a league, but like once a month we do multi-class and like it be organized. And just doing that was so much work. Getting everybody to like sign up. There was no entry fee. It was like, I need you to tell me what group you want to be in and what day you want to be in. And like just that and getting everybody to show up in the right lobby was more work than I ever want to do.
Yeah, it seems like herding
for
cats.
free. Yeah, it is exactly herding cats. And you know, your only way to connect to them is on Discord. I want to see that again. Hold on, real quick. Let's look at this onboard with Jeffrey.
Saint and Jeffrey right on each other.
They need to give each other some space here.
What happened? Did somebody go wide a little bit on the grass? Nope. They manage it together well. Okay. Nothing to it but to do it. But yeah, but it's so much fun. And like the races, we did 2 races and one of them was with the Civic hatchbacks. And like they were so much fun, but it was like, I personally don't care to do that. If somebody else wants to do it, I'm here for it and I'll participate. But I need somebody else to take on that one. Into the pits goes Jeffrey. And something happened here to Corridor. Let's see if we can catch that.
I think he spun it, headed onto the back straight.
Yep, we saw it earlier too, didn't we?
Yeah, it's tough getting out of that turn in second gear. Third feels slower but much safer. Second stuff.
Looks like Krulop will be the next across the line to set a time. Currently has a 108.258, and he runs wide. That's not going to be it. He's going to have to try again, and he can't pit either. The next will be Saint. So, Jorge, how did you find PHG, and how long did it take you before you put the PHG in front of your name?
I think I don't know. So someone introduced me to PHG, and I thought that I wanted to do the league, and I thought to do the league you had to join PHG, and I thought to join PHG you had to put the PHG in front of your name. So it all happened very quickly. It was like a day, because it was like, oh, the league started, and I think it was the first season of the league. And I think the first race actually was here in Group 1 cars, and I drove that Audi R18.
Indeed. I
Full circle.
I first found out who you were. I believe you did. Did you do Friday splits your first round of NRL? Or were you Saturday?
Yeah, it was Friday, my first season at NRL.
You were Friday, so I wasn't familiar with you, but you hopped into our lobbies one day, and you came out of nowhere and whooped up the guys that usually dominate. And I was like, who is this Jorge guy? And then I realized you were part of NRL. And I was like, holy smokes.
I don't think that's true. I think you're remembering that wrong.
Was that before?
Because I've joined your lobbies before, and I am terrible in the road cars.
No,
especially Civic hatchbacks, Honda Accords, whatever you've got there. I'm crashing in the back.
I want to say it was like GR86s, and you straight up dominated.
I doubt that, but
no,
I'll take it.
It's true, because I talked about it. I was like, I didn't know who this guy was, and then I realized, oh, this is Jorge Senior. Okay, But now Wade comes in there. Wade comes in there and does well. Tuzenbox comes in there and does well. It's always fun to see these other drivers who aren't part of the regular mix get in there. Corridor with a 107.611. Pretty solid. Saint with a 107.746.
What is the current cutoff?
Current cutoff for split one is a 107.484, according to the ticker.
That is correct.
So Corridor's got a little work to do, and he's not going to be able to do it. He just got a penalty.
He'll make it around.
Oh, you can see he just ran wide there.
You're right.
He was
You're right.
purple. Unfortunate.
He should make it back before the time expires.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You're right.
Question is, will Mr. Sank get another run? It looks like he's close enough.
Yeah, I believe he will as well.
Looks like Sheldon says he beat you once in a daily, Jorge.
I mean, a lot of people beat me all the time, but definitely never Sheldologist.
Sheldologist goes on vacation, so he can't get beat. He's like, I got to go to Cancun.
He's always on vacation.
Must be nice.
Yeah,
I'm jealous.
really.
That sounds amazing.
No kidding.
I remember Jorge from a daily as well. I think we were on like Trial Mountain or Deep Forest or something.
Must have been a long time ago. I think I've done maybe 1 or 2 dailies in the last year.
I bet it was 2.5 years ago or so. I'm not even sure I have my wheel yet. I may have,
crazy.
But yeah.
I used to do them a lot. I used to grind the daily time trials. I think that's a good way to get faster in this game for sure. But
yeah, it forces you to learn the track and cars.
Right.
Yeah, it does.
Corridor gonna do it?
I don't think so. I think everybody was down.
Oh.
Everybody down. No improvement, so that's going to be that.
Right
Solid lap time still, though.
Yep.
Yeah, split two's. I think split one's going to be crazy, but I think split two's going to be bonkers.
Yeah, I mean, things are pretty tight. I mean, it is a short lap, but, you know, these guys are going to slot in right at like 8, 9, 10 or something like that. Corridor, Jeffrey, and Saint.
Yeah, they're all pretty close. Those 3 right there.
Yeah.
Off by 10, basically 10th and a half.
Corridor with a 107.611. Jeffrey with a 107.646. Saint with a 107.746, and then new Crew Lob, not far off, just over half a second with a 108.258. Respectable times.
Very respectable. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing them all in the same split. I mean, that was tight. Nice job, fellas. Or I don't know that. Nice job.
Nice job, Pete.
Participants. Yeah, racers.
Racers. Because we were talking pre-broadcast. For those who have been following the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and for those who are passionate about women's motorsports, F1 Academy winner Dorian Pond got pole position in the LMP2s at Le Mans today. She is just a teenager, and French teenager, and she's been on Jimmy Kimmel. She got to go on a couple shows when they were here last year for F1 Academy, but I've been following the W Series, which then morphed into the F1 Academy, and it's been really cool to see these young ladies get the opportunity. And there are some things, like the F1 car is the most physical beast you're probably going to experience. So there is a drawback for some people, both men and women. If you're a smaller man, it's going to be hard too. But as far as the rest of motorsport goes, it really doesn't matter gender or anything like that. It's just about skill. And Jamie Chadwick, who's also a former Academy winner, is one of the reserve and test drivers for the new Genesis team at Le Mans, who qualified P10. It's their first year in WEC. So really cool to see that. And I think sim racing is going to have a big play in that. And if you follow F1 or you watch YouTube and you know about Max Verstappen, he's passionate about sim racing and getting people who traditionally wouldn't be able to get into motorsport but have the skill, and giving them the opportunity. His sim racing team is now racing in real life, giving these people an opportunity that wouldn't have otherwise had it. I don't know. That's cool and fun to me.
Yeah, I agree. It's an exciting time.
Indeed. And, sim racing's blowing up. We have all these new games coming out. Project Motorsport has been a disappointment. I still haven't tried it. I resisted, but I think if LMU, I've played it for PC. LMU was amazing. If that ever comes to console, I'm excited for that.
I think it's coming, actually.
Yeah,
right?
they say it's coming. Yep.
And then there's a few other games.
End of the year or early next year, I think is what they said. I just looked it up recently.
Yeah, I got to do
Whether
some LMU.
whether
and
it happens.
it was good. It was a really good game, and if you've ever watched people stream, you can see. But what I love, that's the thing I love about Gran Turismo, is it's one of the few games that has all the road cars, but semi-realistic physics. Like, yeah, Forza has a bunch of road cars, but how good are the physics, right? You get all these road cars in Gran Turismo, and it's like I have a old Miata and I do autocross, and I love pushing it to the limits. It's so cool to just get in any car. Like, imagine if I could buy this and take it to a track. And that's really what my lobbies are about. That's why I don't allow tuning or anything. It's like, pretend you went and bought your dream car at the dealership and now you get to go race it on a racetrack. Like, let's do that. That's kind of the idea behind TK's lobbies.
Well, that's quite the plug. I kind of like that thought process.
Yeah, and people are like, well, let's tune, like, and that's cool, but not everybody's good at tuning. Not everybody's going to get the same tune. Let's have everybody on equal playing fields and stock cars on sport tires, like as if you picked it up and you wanted to take it to the track. And most times it's fun. Sometimes it's not fun. Sometimes the cars the physics are wrong and we pick the wrong tire. Because on road cars specifically, if you pick too grippy of a tire, the car is crazy under braking. Or if you lift off the throttle too quickly. Like the suspension can't handle the grip, and the game doesn't know how to translate it, so the car just goes crazy. So
yeah,
sometimes
I've made that mistake many times with the one of my favorite cars in the game is that Mazda Touring Roadster.
Sport softs, baby.
Yeah, and if you slap the racing softs on there, it's like one of the hardest. It's one of the hardest cars to drive because it's just
terrible.
It wants to absolutely kill you whenever you brake or downshift.
You can get away with racing hards. You can get away with it, but you got to be careful. But like, sport tires are the way to go. What we've learned is what tire does it come on? The safest thing is to move up 2 tires. So if it comes on comfort softs, you can probably get away with sport mediums. If it comes on sports hards, you can probably get away with sport softs. It's kind of how we play it. And that wasn't from me. That was from some guys. I got lucky enough that this group of 4 drivers who have been playing together since Gran Turismo 5. They've been playing together, and they've been doing lobbies. They stumbled across my lobbies at the beginning and became a part of it. They're now the main directors of TK's lobbies. Like, they usually are the ones that pick the cars, and they have understood these type of things. They're also all controller drivers, so I take that into account, that maybe their experience is slightly different, but overall, they knock it out of the park. Tuzum, I know you hop in. What are your thoughts of that?
So you say go up tires, and I actually do the opposite. When I ran all of the road cars around Nords, I always put on comfort softs.
Interesting.
At most. And that's even in like the fast cars, like even like the Valkyrie. I drove that on comfort softs. I was I took some inspiration from Road Beef, one of the GTWS drivers, and he said he uses comfort tires because it more accurately simulates the appropriate amount of braking.
Well, you might have just...
Sports tires are a little bit too grippy under braking. He says that sports tires or comfort tires in his experience are more realistic.
You may have just changed TK Slobbies forever and pissed off Duke Thunder, because he always gets mad that we don't pick this off this compound. But I push for the comforts as well, and now that I have that feedback, I think next TK Slobbies we might have to push those comfort tires and see how it goes.
What about boost? Are you always running boost, or is it just sometimes?
It's for kicks and giggles.
Okay.
We
So
do it for fun.
Not all the time.
No, we do boost and slip, strong. Like somebody could request it, or if we're doing a certain combo, it's like that's going to be so much fun to have boost and slip, or a certain car. Like some cars, it doesn't really matter because the boost isn't going to help because they just can't go any faster. Like if they're rev limiter or they only have 4 gears, boost isn't going to do anything. But for kicks and giggles, we do throw it in there. But overall, we try to keep it, like I said, you just got your car from the dealer and you took it straight to the track.
Okay, I didn't know that because I came to one of your lobbies recently and I did one race and I was like, that was really wacky. And then I looked and I saw that it was strong boost, and I was like, all right, I'm out of here. But knowing that it was a one-time deal or a rare thing, I'll come back to the next one.
It was inspired by Brigsby. I was helping Brigsby out with NASCAR Fridays, and he essentially sets up a lobby NASCAR themed based on what you can do in Gran Turismo. So Watkins Glen short, right? And Group 3 cars. And he would turn boost and slip on, turn track limits and flags off. So you could run as wide as you want. Boost and slip are on strong, and we had caution. So another person was in there to say caution, and everyone would have to slow down if somebody spun out. And it just made it so that every lap you were racing somebody, regardless.
Right.
And it's fun. So we started to adapt that. If anybody wants to request it, they can do it. Or if we're doing Daytona Tri-Oval, we'll put it on. Or if we're in slow cars, but there's long straights, like this one, we might do strong slip just because of this long back straight and we're in super slow cars. That type of thing.
Right.
But as Fernando's saying, we ended up doing multi-class last night. It wasn't supposed to be. I believe it was 3800 series suggested we do the old Alpha Giulia, which was in used cars, and the 2020 Alpha Giulia, which was in Grand Central, and alternate back and forth. And I was like, let's try multi-class. And except for the last 2 races, we did multi-class, and it was a lot of fun. Because the 2020s, after about 3 laps, were lapping the 67 Giulias, and it was a blast.
I remember we had randomly did a multi-class lobby, but like the difference in the cars was like so extreme. Like I think we did 2 laps in the faster car, while they did 1 lap. So like we were lapping them within like 3 minutes.
That's awesome, and it's just fun, especially if you turn off. I've learned that
like mayhem.
Flag, like if you want proper no ghosting, you have to turn off flag rules, because yellow flags will cause ghosting, and I like to run no ghosting. So if you turn off flag rules, it eliminates the ghosting for yellow flags. No ghosting eliminates ghosting for blue flags. So there's all these small things in here that we're learning. The more we do leagues and the more we run lobbies, the more we learn about this game. And again, an improvement from Slow K67, a 107.912.
Oh, that's going to be an issue.
I see C-Dubs and Salamander have joined the chat. Welcome, welcome. Hey-o. Big shout out to them. Big participants of the PHG World Series. And to be honest, Sal does 95% of the work behind the scenes. Sal deserves a raise.
Don't give him that much credit.
No.
Don't give him that
I
much
give him that much credit because I'm like number 2 and I do nothing.
Fair enough.
I'm the one, when he was out of town, I did it. Did I do it well? No. Was I stressed out? Yes. Did I want him to come home? Absolutely.
Sal, you're come home. There's an emergency.
There's
What
an
is
emergency.
it? I just need you to handle this.
I just need you to show me how to use OBS. And I have a Mac, and everybody else has a PC, so there's these slight differences. And so he has to get on, and I have to share my screen, and we have to figure out what the difference is and how to make it work on mine to use what they were using. It's a lot of fun. Good improvement from Old Man Pip.
Yeah, while we've got a little bit of a break, maybe I'll throw some shout outs to our sponsors real quick. I haven't mentioned them yet tonight, other than I guess when we were talking about equipment.
Semnet,
but so returning with us this season, we've got 40 Racewear. On the stream, we've got our sponsors cycling through the bottom right hand corner. So we got 40 Racewear popping up there. But for those of you who don't know, right, 40 Racewear is going to provide, I'll say high performance sim racing gear, gloves. So we see Sal sport his shirt oftentimes when he's streaming, but certainly worth checking out. And I think a lot of our drivers use 40 Racewear, but we've also got Simnet, and we talked about those pedals. I'm a fan. I have the pedals. I know C-Dubs has the pedals. I think they're great pedals. Paul Davis Restorations is new with us this year, along with Simnet. Paul Davis Restoration, they kind of bridge the gap, and they're part of the real world component of our sim racing community, or sponsors. So they're I'll say the gold standard for recovering residential and commercial properties from water, fire, and mold damage. So if you happen to have some of those unfortunate situations, they're an option. And then MZW is new with us this year as well. So if you're not familiar with MZW, they offer like specialized or premium sim racing items. Some of it's very complimentary to Fanatec. So recommend you check them out if you're in the market for that kind of thing as well. So just wanted to get those sponsors out there tonight. So thanks for allowing me to break in there, fellas.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if y'all have ever had to deal with a 5-figure insurance claim and repair on your home, but it's not fun. I don't know about y'all. I don't have just 5 figures sitting around, and sometimes you don't know what your deductible is on specific type things. So I'm sure, had I known about Paul Davis, they would have been able to help me out quite a bit, because that was a nightmare trying to figure out how to come up with $15,000. As we look at Slow K with a 107.912, Johnny Boy with a 108.805. Johnny Boy was saying earlier in the chat he is on controller, and sure enough, he does sit on the couch with his legs up and just chills. Then we have BHR's Old Man Pip with a 108.932.
Nice. Yeah, if you're going to do it, Johnny Boy, do it right. So I appreciate you, relaxing in style. Don't do it like Shaggy, sitting there on a dinner chair.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Shaggy, I had to do it.
Had to.
Yep, had to be done.
You've been around long enough. You're allowed to.
Okay, all right. Good to know.
Yep.
He was talking about him in chat earlier, and just had to throw back to that.
Absolutely. It's so funny, this PHG crew. I know I asked you about it earlier, Q, kind of how you got involved, but like for me, it was like Papa and I were at the same level at the same time for a bit. And so we were just in each other's races, and I had just started streaming, and he had started to build his community. I think they had just gotten people to start using the PHG with their name. And so he came into my stream after we raced together, and he was like, hey, I subscribed. And I was like, oh, I just subscribed to your channel too. And he was like, hey, if you come into my stream on Saturday, we'll post your channel in the link. I think people need to see your channel. And I was like, that's weird, because I had seen other people who tried to promote themselves on other channels and they got like blocked or shunned or like, hey, that's not okay. So I was like, don't say anything about your channel and anybody else's stream. And he's like, hey, I want to promote your channel. And I was like, why? I don't know you. We've only raced together this weekend, but we had good, clean races. And so I came into his stream that Saturday and I was like, hey, I didn't have Discord. I was streaming from my PlayStation. And I got so many new subscribers from that. And it was like, and then NRL started. I still didn't have Discord. And Papa was like, you have to have Discord. I didn't want to get it. Somebody showed me how. You can figure it out. So I got Discord and kind of got plugged in with the community. And then things start going. And I get a message of like, hey, somebody wants to become a member. And you interview them. And I was like, when did I become qualified to interview anybody? And yeah, it's been PHG ever since. Jorge, how did you get it?
Papa knew.
Or no, I mean, yeah. Wait, who did I ask? Did I ask Q earlier, or did I ask Jorge?
No, that was me.
Yeah,
the Jorge origin story was great, though.
Yeah, Q, how did you get involved? Because you're newer to the community.
Yeah. So I've raced against Papa just here and there in lobbies. It's been a while, but I think, you know, he maybe put up, you know, his intro text or whatever that he was streaming on YouTube during the race. And so what I recall is it was a good race. And I didn't win the race, but I was competitive in the race. And he was around me in the race. I was like, I'm going to go check that out and see what that race looked like. That may have been the first race that I'd ever seen that I was in that somebody else had streamed. And so when I went to watch it, you know, he's talking over the race, you know, as streamers do. And he was like, you know, Papa's whole approach was, you know, that thanks for the clean pass or the clean racing. And it was just really refreshing. I was like, you know, he wanted to be competitive, he wanted to do well, but his focus and the things he talked about were about let's be clean and you know, and I try to race clean, you know, I mean, certainly I make mistakes, but sure. Right? And so I was like, well, that's cool that he noticed it, that he appreciated it. And so, you know, since I'd been on his channel, I'd pop in every once in a while and just watch or comment on a stream or something. But nothing too crazy. But, you know, you're talking about social media earlier, and I don't really have any of that either except Reddit. So I'll jump on Reddit and scroll or whatever. And I'm part of the GT community, or it's part of my feed anyway, on Reddit. And so prior to season 3, I think Shaggy, you know, he'll pop in with a quick post just to advertise at the start of the seasons, and I happened to see that. And I was like, oh, PHG, I'm familiar with PHG. And I was just looking to wanting to get involved with leagues. And so, you know, he had the Discord link. I didn't have Discord at the time either, but since I was familiar with PHG, it was like, well, this is the one I'm going to check out. And kind of the rest is history, right? But we did the race, and the first race we did, you know, I jumped in. I jumped in a car that I'd never really driven, and I really didn't have any laps to speak of on Yas. So I just jumped in and I went, and didn't know anything about the league, didn't know that you guys broadcast and stream the league races or anything. So, you know, did the race, and afterwards I go in and, you know, I find the stream, or maybe it was in some of the text, and I watched the race and just listened to the commentary. I was like, this is amazing. You know, I mean, the quality of the commentary, the quality of the broadcast itself. I mean, at that point I was hooked. I was like, this is so cool. I've got you know, family. I said, hey, do you guys want to watch this race I just did? You know, pulled up YouTube in the living room, and they enjoyed it.
Yes.
So
that's been the coolest thing for me, is like, you tell people about this, right? And they look at you. You know the look, and you're like, you kind of feel like, you're like, well, no, but you don't understand. You don't understand. And since it started with NRL for me, but like when you can give them a product like this and they're like, oh, I get it.
Yep. And so the way I got involved then is, you do a couple races, and for me, it's like just really appreciating the effort that goes into what the community's doing and the product that we get to enjoy, right? As a racer, then I get the benefit. So I was like, I need to contribute somehow. So, in the Discord, it's just, hey, Papa, hey, Shaggy, do you need anything? Can I help with anything? And so that's how, I'm helping with stewarding, and the commentary is like, hey, we could probably use a hand in these areas. You want to help out? And it's like, yeah. So, and even through that, like, you work with and get to know different people such as yourself, D-Case, but, C-Dubs is behind the scenes, and he's always super helpful. Oak, obviously Papa and Shaggy. Yeah. It really does feel like a sense of community. It's pretty nice.
It really is. Well said indeed. And it's just really cool, and to see this all come to play, and it builds on each other too. Like, I mean, sure, people are competitive and we want to keep our trade secrets, but overall everybody's so open. I don't feel like there's gatekeeping. I've been in various communities where gatekeeping was very much a thing, and I don't feel that here.
Yeah, I can be a little bit stingy with some of my strategies.
Sure,
I mean,
strategies,
if somebody
that's
asks
one
me
thing,
about them,
but like, just I want to be a faster driver. You're not gonna stop somebody from being a faster driver. Like I've been very much in the tattoo community, and there's people that like, they figure out a new technique and they won't tell anybody because they want to be the only one who can do that technique. And it's like, or somebody wants to learn and they're like, I'm not going to take the time to teach you, even though somebody took the time to teach me. There's that whole like pay your dues, I guess, type of idea, and I just don't feel it. And maybe it exists in other communities within GT7, but within the overarching community that I've been in, it definitely hasn't felt that way.
Yeah, I haven't noticed it. Certainly not with this group. Everybody's always willing to help and open, offering even. Like I said, with my strategies, maybe I'm a bit stingy.
Yeah,
but,
you want to win the race.
Yeah, but even before the first race this year, I think C-Dubs and I traded some messages, and I was like, this is exactly what I'm doing. And I told him, though, I was like, I'm not going to tell everybody, but this is exactly what I'm doing. So, didn't figure there was any reason to hold it that close to the best.
Right. And something I've learned from being a commentator for PHG and NRL and talking to the drivers pre-race about strategy, them knowing that I'm not going to reveal who's doing what strategy. I just want to have a better idea. One thing I've gathered is Oak, K. Naranjo, has learned so much from you, Jorge. Have you been working with him quite a bit?
I mean, well, we do IRO together, and I think some of the other leagues we might have practiced together. I doubt I really taught him anything, but that's nice of him to say that.
Oh yeah, well you did, just so you know. Maybe he didn't say it to you, but he said it to me. And sorry, Oak, if that was personal, but I think it's worth noting that he definitely, because anytime I talk to him, he's like, he mentions you as far as, figuring out what to do with the race. And I think y'all being on IRO and y'all's involvement with MMR definitely has impacted him and his racecraft, because we know how quick Oak can be, and he's so young too, which I'm not saying you need to be young to be good, but it does seem like the young guys that are good at this game are really good at this game.
Agreed. I think all the World Tour drivers, like the vast majority of them, seem like they're 18, 19 to early 20s or something like that.
Hey, quick shout out while we just have a little pause. Amarillo Dash's livery, I think, is super dope.
Yeah, it's pretty sharp.
Yeah, like it's minimal, but that's great. So Oh, he's heading into the pits. I don't know if he's got time to pull this off here. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think
so.
so. Yeah, it's gonna be tight, very tight, too
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to make it back around. But he's got some pretty decent times laid down, right? No? Maybe I'm... No. Sorry, I don't know what I was looking at. Huh. Well, A+ for the delivery for sure. I think that's very sharp.
Yeah, I think he just realized it too and quit back to the pits.
Yeah. So, I interrupted you guys. Sorry for that. You can continue.
What?
I was
Oh,
just
we were
saying that I
talking
got all
about-
my I get all my strat advice from Chat GPT anyways, so
Nice.
I'm a classic millennial, like Disney Channel, Nickelodeon. Like I really heavily watched all that, and there's this movie called Smart House, and yeah, the Smart House took over, and I've just been so hesitant to AI and all that stuff. And it wasn't till this year that I broke down and actually tried Chat GPT to make a thumbnail, and I was like, this is too much fun. This is too much fun. I was so angry with myself. I was like, no, because all the people I knew, you know, they got the smart security system with the smart lights and the smart thermostat, and it never worked. And I was like, that thing's going to kill you one day. That's going to smother you in your sleep. You haven't seen the movie. I know you've seen the movie, but I've slowly been coming around, courtesy of ChatGPT for thumbnails.
I mean, it's pretty good. I use it for some things at work where I can just upload certain documents and it'll extract certain pieces of information into a new Excel spreadsheet. So yeah, I mean, it's very useful. At the same time, it makes really dumb mistakes.
Yeah.
So you have to double and triple check your work or its work, or which in a way almost defeats the purpose. But I mean, it'll make very simple arithmetic mistakes where I'll look at it and I'll go, wait a minute, that's not right. And then I'll say, double check your work. And it'll say, oh, you're right. I'm sorry. 5 plus 5 is 10, and I put 15. And it'll literally do stuff like that. So it's kind of crazy.
It'll just make stuff up if it doesn't have the answer or the input, and it's like, and I've seen people, and I've seen people try to use it without, you know, proofreading or going over the output, and it's like, hey man, I know AI did this, and you need to get used to checking this. It's one thing to use it, but you can't.
And it tells you to check. It says, hey,
yep,
don't take this. And I'm curious, so if you guys don't mind me asking what your like professions are, because I know some professions use it a lot and it can make a huge difference.
So go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, you know, we don't use it a ton. I won't go into exactly what my profession is, but
okay, fine.
It's not something that is. It's something that we'll use just to just help with administrative tasks, you know, putting together documents and things like that.
Yeah, for
sure. It can, you know, as with everybody, this isn't industry specific for sure, but you know, you can end up with these super long email chains or these super long streams of data, and you can ask, you know, ChatGPT or your AI of choice to just kind of summarize that, condense it. We can use it in, you know, meetings, and it can provide summaries for meetings and stuff like that as well. But yeah, just basic things.
Interesting.
So yeah, I actually used to be a lawyer and I'm doing something different now, but getting back to like what you were saying about checking your work, there's a lot of lawyers getting busted.
That's what I was referring to, is that's what I heard about. Yeah.
They're having whatever AI service or company draft entire briefs and motions and whatnot, and it's literally making up case law, and for whatever reason they're too stupid to double check it. and it'll literally make up a case like Jones v. Smith in Missouri.
Yeah, so there's no
And then
actual precedent, but they're saying there's a precedent.
the judge will be like, this case literally does not exist. There is no Jones v. Smith in Missouri. And so then these attorneys are getting referred to the bar, and it's a big deal.
Crazy.
You cannot do that. So.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about that. That's interesting. My job, I don't need ChatGPT at all. I just buy cars. So it just requires car knowledge and market knowledge. But for YouTube, it's very helpful.
How so?
For thumbnails, I'll take a picture of myself in my Miata, and then I'll say, make a cartoon of me driving whatever car we're doing in the lobby versus whatever other cars we're doing in the lobby. And then, like, for example, it was a picture of my lizard, my bearded dragon, in my race helmet, driving the 67 Alfa Romeo, beating the 2020 Alfa Romeo, with a banner over the track that said, Alfa Romeo challenge, this Alfa versus this Alfa. And I was like, well, that was good. So, but that's about all I use it for.
Yeah, I mean, it can pump out super realistic images. Like I was doing that for NRL as a joke, as my my avatar or whatever. I made a fake image of myself with a fake image of my dog, and I was like pretty shy. And that was the first time I had done it, and I was pretty shocked.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, very crazy.
To be fair, the first time I did it, I had a little bit to drink, and I was like, I'm going to try this. And I just sat there. I was like, what? How did it just come up with that image so quickly? Pretty crazy. But we did see here. Oops. Oh, it already went away. What time did he have?
Oh, it was 1 minute 20.
Okay. Yeah, it was.
Sorry.
Not close to Jorge.
20:032.
All right, we have 2 split cutoffs, or 3 split cutoffs for Group 1. For Group 2, we have 2 split, or for Group 1, we have, Group 1, we have 2 split cutoffs. Group 3, we have 3 split cutoffs. We could use some more Group 1 drivers for those who want to participate.
Come one, come all. We will not turn you away. So, a little bit ago, too, we were talking about just different series. Jorge, what are all the different series that you have or are competing in? I know you say you're kind of taking a break now, but...
I think it's just this and NRL. I think those are really the only leagues I've done. I think I did. There was like some tiny little free-race league that I did just for fun, but I mean, yeah, this is pretty much it. And the way it's the way it's set up, it's like PHG ends and then NRL begins, and then it's just a vicious cycle.
So you just
tell me about
IRO.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. We talked about IRO as well, right?
That's right. Yeah. How could I forget? Because that's like the sort of the most intense one. Yeah.
It's so much fun.
IRO's easy to forget because it's basically once every 6 weeks.
A month. Yeah, it's so spread out. That's one you literally have to put on your calendar.
Right. Yeah, I mean, no joke. I mean, there's times where I'm like, hey, when is that next IRO race? And it'll be like 3 weeks away, and then I'll not think about it at all, and then it kind of just creeps up on you. But yeah, IRO is a lot of fun. I mean, it's the races are intense for a day, and then you don't do anything again for another 6 weeks. But yeah, really good time.
That's wild. One race every 6 weeks. So how many races total?
I think it's
this season
I don't know,
is
8 or 10. There you go.
And a race is 2 stints. Well, no, I'm in the sprint series, which seems crazy. I can't imagine the full on.
Yeah, the full one is what, 8, 12, and 24-hour races.
Jeez, it's so cool that they figured out how to do it with the having separate lobby.
It really is.
Like I watched McNaughty do his, and I watched Sal do his, and I watched them do it, and I couldn't understand it. And it wasn't
same.
It wasn't until I was like, I want to do this, and Sal was like, here's how it's done. And then we didn't make the full on IRO, but we made the sprint series. And I did my first race at Red Bull Ring, and I haven't done a proper competitive race, talk about being sweaty. Oh my goodness. It was so much fun. I loved it. And I'm doing the last 2 of the sprint series, Road Atlanta and Fuji. So I'm excited about that as well. But it's very cool that they put it on. And that's, the leagues like IRO, the S7R Toyota Cup, that's a great one. If y'all haven't seen it, they do it like a GR86 Cup and then like a Group 3 Toyota Super Cup. That's really good. McNaughty and Tati put that on. And like that's really what drove Upshift. Is like now that we know these leagues exist, we know we can let more people be involved, because the more people to do it, the better. Like if we can get more people in here, we're going to have more splits. It's going to be more fun as a viewer and a racer.
Yeah, it's funny. Every once in a while, I'll come across someone streaming some league, and it's like round 5 of 10, and it's like a full lobby. And I'm like, I've never even heard of this. I've never even heard of any of these people. So I have to think that there are like a bunch of different leagues out there, but it's just like their own little community that for some reason doesn't bump into this community, and we're all just kind of separate for some reason. But it'd be interesting to know what all is going on out there.
Well, and like you were saying about Reddit versus Discord. Discord is private, so if you're not invited, you don't know about that league. So if somebody doesn't send you an invite, you're not going to know whether that exists. I think in our announcement video, Tati brought that up because they had been a part of it since GT5 and all the Reddit and various forums that were available for that. And that's how you found out about leagues. And now it's all done through Discord mostly. And if you're not a part of a Discord, you probably don't know it exists.
Right.
We're waiting. We have about 45 minutes left. Like I said, I am strict. This is ending at 10 p.m. Central. It is now 9:16, 21:16 if you like the 24-hour time. Get in here. We definitely need more Group 1 drivers. Group 1 drivers. Jorge, get in here instead of Group 1 time and do 2 races.
At the same time.
At the same time.
No, you'll do your group. You'll be in because it won't count because you're already in Group 3. So you'll be in Split 4 or Split 3 in the Group 1 cars.
No, Jorge, I want to see you on your alt account in the same split in 2 different cars. That will truly elevate you to legend status.
I tried to drive on a controller the other day for the first time in a couple years.
It's so hard.
Ugly. I mean, I'm like 15 seconds off the pace.
Las Vegas. Were you manual? That's my biggest issue with controller is shifting the gears.
That's not a problem. I mean, everything else is a problem for me. It's like go to brake and just accidentally bring the car to a complete stop.
Right? Because you didn't just lightly. You're like, trigger.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm used to the days where you had no, you had no triggers. You steered with the D-pad.
Yeah, X and D.
Yeah, X and square or whatever were gas and brake.
I say D is square.
You either get 100% gas or no gas, and 100% brake or no brake.
That's
you want to feather the throttle, you got to tap it. You got to tap it at certain speeds.
I played a lot of PC racing games. Need for Speed Porsches Unleashed on PC, Midtown Madness on PC, and that was using the arrow keys and like A, S,
right,
and spacebar was handbrake, back was regular brake, and I was good back in the day on that. That's craziness,
man.
Looks like Leo's hopping in here.
Keyboard controller takes me back to Counter-Strike.
I was a Delta
FPS
Force
games.
2. I played Delta Force 2.
Nice. Yeah, I got into the FPS for a little while, but I can only take and give so many. Never mind, I'm not going to say that comment. It can be construed way too many ways. Forget I said anything.
Did you guys notice that a lot of sim racers also play shooters on the side?
It probably helps with reaction.
Yeah,
see, I can't do it. I was into it, like Halo 2. Halo 2 you were able to play online. And then all my friends got serious about it, and it no longer was fun. It was, F you, why did you do that if you ever made a mistake? And it's like, I don't want to play this anymore. This isn't enjoyable. So I just completely stopped with the FPSs. But
Yeah,
GoldenEye, I'll play some GoldenEye on N64 all day.
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein.
I don't even remember what console that was on. I just remember it was a long time ago. I think it was on PC.
Yeah, I think
it
that
was
was
a
PC.
Yeah. That's going way back.
Leo and his classic, is that Tool? Is Tool the band he likes? I think that's Tool.
That does not make me think of Tool. But
Or what's the other
perhaps
one?
I'm wrong.
What's the one that starts with a P?
Pink
Pantera?
Floyd.
Is it? It's either Pantera or Tool. It's one of those two. I don't listen to either, so don't.
Is there anybody
don't-
in chat who can help us?
But I'm pretty
When
sure.
I look
it's-
at that, I think Pink Floyd.
Yes, but Leo's not listening to Pink Floyd.
That's not a... those
I
aren't
wanted-
really like primary colors split through a prism, though. Leopard, okay. All right, Shel.
I mean, I'm into it. I love it. I'm a brightly colored man, so
it makes me think of My Little Pony.
yeah. Or Anne Frank or Lisa Frank. Anne Frank, golly, Lisa Frank. Jesus. let me
those
talk
are-
about some
those are
really
sweetheart
messed up
colors.
stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's the
Ed
taste
Sheeran.
of
Papa says Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran. His custom PRS guitar is so sick. I don't want to like it, but man, as somebody who just
Trapper
likes
Keepers.
Trapper Keepers,
Yeah, that makes me
you
think
got to
of
keep your
Keepers
trappers.
from 1991. I think my sister had that Trapper Keeper. Sorry to cut you off there.
I can hear the Velcro,
Yes, yeah.
and I can smell the toxic markers before they change the formula.
Toxic? Are you telling me that that's my problem? I sniffed too many of those markers?
I mean, I
Too many
did.
solvents?
I know I did. I was that kid in the corner with multicolored nose. I didn't understand why people had a problem with me. I always said I was normal and everyone else was different, but I guess that's a sign.
I mean, it could be. Just hang on to that. That might be the case.
And well, my last name is Case, so I'll take it for you. As Leo pulls out some crazy times. There's certain tracks where Leo can be a top split driver. Leo and I became friends. That's one thing you guys were talking about earlier. I didn't want to interrupt. But about racing against people in the dailies and stuff and like ending up becoming friends with them. Like Leo and I have been friends for several years. C Turbo and I Hector, those two are two drivers that I raced against, and we had rivalries, and we'd become friends, and now we see each other twice a year and talk regularly. It's really cool when you race against somebody who's also out there. Ooh, as Leo loses it, who's also out there not only to win but to have fun and have clean racing. You know, you respect that, and it's cool the friendships and stuff that has been made because of it. As we've seen, how many times have we seen this tonight? Oh no, Leo did it before everybody else did it. He took too much of that first curve.
Yeah, and I
Back in
think
the
you do
pits.
want to take a lot of that first curve. You've got to keep the wheel pointed mostly straight through there. Of course, I'll say it again. I haven't driven it in the Group 1 car, so I could be totally wrong.
Yeah,
That's
you're
quite the
probably
livery.
wrong. You're not remotely good at this game.
That is quite the livery, though. I mean, if anything, it's got us talking about it. And it
Yeah,
makes me feel happy.
It
I'm
does.
tingly all over.
I gotta
Someone
say,
said it's My Little Pony.
yeah, I gotta say something I learned in my college years. I would say, who knows why, but I learned that I love colors that look like they tasted good, and that looks like a tasty car. Like if a color looks like it would be a good, like that yellow, the yellow on the curb, that's not a good candy. I don't want that candy. But Leo's car, yeah, I'd chew on that.
You'd be the guy licking the car.
Yep, absolutely.
What's TK's doing over there?
He's enjoying the colors, y'all.
Yeah,
The schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
I could taste the rainbow.
Exactly.
It does look cotton candy flavored. I think Wick is all over this thing.
I'm not sure about those wheels. Those splash pretty bad, honestly.
Yeah,
They do.
He may not thought it all the way through. Leo also has a very short attention span, so I could see him slapping the decals on and not thinking twice about the wheels.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who put a lot of time and effort into liveries, I mean,
Good for you.
some of them are just impressive. Like, how do you even make that?
Your brain has to work. You have to have a certain type of patience, and that's what. Like if you watch Sal, like Sal will do a stream where he makes a livery, or RJ. Who else does it? Philness GT, Aussie Pug. Like if you sit there and watch them, like I don't have the patience for that. Like they try 30 different things and none of them work, and then they do something else. I'm like, I would have quit after the second one. But I've learned a lot. I've watched them, and now I can make a standard TK livery, either orange or blue, in about 5 minutes, and it'll be what I want. The biggest thing was Joe Collins taught me duplicate and paste and replace. And that's been a huge thing to use.
Yeah.
Duplicate your decals.
Yeah, like duplicate it and then replace it with a different decal. And then it'll be the right size to match with what you're doing. Or copy it to the other side and then duplicate and replace. So on one side you have the decal you set up perfectly, and on the other side you have a different decal in the exact same spot that you spent all that time on the first one.
Interesting.
Genius. Or if you have multi-layers, if you're trying to do layer on layer, you can do the first one, duplicate it, then replace it with the second layer. Then the second layer will be the exact same size as the first layer on top of it. Genius, right? Would have never thought about it. Look at that, Leo improving to a 108.109.
Up 2 thou. That's consistency.
I'm telling you, Leo pulls it out when it matters. He won a rain race at Red Bull Ring Season 3. There's a battle between me, Papa, and SSC. Final results ended up being Leo, SSC, myself, and Papa, and it was a crazy race, but Leo dominated the whole time. But the real question is will he be available for the race? We know how busy he is.
Yeah. Well, with that livery, you know, if he can't make it, somebody else has got to step in with that livery.
I'm 99% sure it's Tool.
That's got Custom Box written all over it.
Tuzum's the classic black and purple.
I was about to say, have you seen my liveries?
No, do you usually run a certain thing?
It's
Or
all
what am I
black
missing
and
here?
purple. It's black with 2 purple race stripes, like a Viper.
I've got a few cars with that livery. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
It looks
Just a
good.
couple.
It looks good. It's clean.
Allegedly.
This could be from Tuzum's alt account, though.
Yeah, maybe this is Tuzum driving right now.
Ooh, he's up quite a bit there, 0.092. Coming into the middle sector, double right-hander, onto the straight. Now, what are y'all's thoughts on assists? Do you use them at all? Is it specifically or nothing?
I use them only under certain conditions. So if it's raining cats and dogs, not that it ever does in this league, Shaggy, But then I'll look at, if I need to have any on. I mean, sometimes for me, and this is, I know isn't true for everyone, but in the rain, I can be quicker sometimes with like TC1 or counter steer assist or something like that. So I'll like check that out in my practice, like, does this make sense or not? But if it's not raining, I'm not using assists at all.
Yeah, I started running TC in the rain too, just because it's whole race is down the drain if you make one little mistake. So I'm like,
Yep.
I might as well just play it a little safe and
Yeah, like
take
go
the
ahead,
hits of
sorry.
my manhood, I guess.
Yeah, because sure, maybe one of my laps is going to be a really good lap and better than anything I could do with, an assist or maybe multiple laps. But all it takes is, one big moment, and all
Right.
of that is gone. And you don't even have
Yep.
to spin, but you could get really loose and lose a couple of seconds. And if I'm, half a second faster with no assists, and then, I have a big moment and I lose 2 or 3 seconds, well, there it all goes. So that's kind of my thought process.
Yeah, I'm the same as Jorge. I really only use traction control in the rain, and even then, that's only in some cases. Personally, I think assists make you slower overall, and I think you'd be better off if you learn to drive without assists.
Right.
To each their own, but I do secretly judge people who use assists. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
That's
Yeah,
messed
fair
up.
enough.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, and so for people who are newer in the game or don't feel hardcore, I don't judge, but I do agree with Tuzum. Like, I think they hold you back a little bit, and so you'll be better off, at least being able to run without them. Again, I just said I'll turn them on if I feel like I need them, or if it just makes more sense. But not learning how to run without them is going to be towards your benefit. So
Yeah.
I agree with you, Tuzum.
Yeah, one thing I've always said, if you can't get around the track without it, then use it to get around the track. Because obviously you're going to be slower not using it because you're spitting out. But you're going to be slower than not using it once you learn how to drive it. So I get why people use them. And it's always interesting to see really fast drivers who still use like maybe the braking zone or something like that, or it throws me off. I still use the braking light where it flashes at you, just because my attention span isn't always there, and sometimes I'll forget. But yeah, it's interesting to see. But like for me, it's like if I can't drive the car at all, then I'll turn on some TC, just so I can drive it and hopefully try to wean myself off. And then also, whenever I do Daytona Tri-Oval, I always turn on ASM and counter steer, just to help with instability. But that's mostly because I'm using crazy road cars on sport tires, and you need a little extra stability there. But Leo with a 107.830, where does that put him overall?
11th. So super solid lap out of Leo. Great job.
GG's, Leo.
Yeah, slots right in between Saint and Felmora. So that really tight lobby that we had, he's sliding right in with them. So those are all good times there.
Oh,
we have
we
about
have
30
someone
minutes
driving.
left. Will's
Yeah,
brother.
we actually have someone driving the Porsche.
Will's brother and Ecstasy. Interesting. Will's brother in the hybrid. I don't know
Is he
who
the
Will
first
is.
person to go Porsche?
Yeah.
We've seen one of the other Audis, right? There's 2 Audis and 1 Porsche.
Yeah.
I know we've seen at least one of the other Audis.
Did we?
Yeah, there was somebody in a different car, and I don't think it was the Porsche earlier on this evening. Maybe I'm wrong. Don't quote me, y'all. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's definitely the first Porsche, though, so it should be
Yeah,
interesting.
it's for sure the first Porsche. So interesting. Will's brother and Ecstasy, 2 more PHG drivers. Looks like they're ready to get it underway. We are running out of time here. So if you're wanting to qualify for round 4. Go ahead and hop in this lobby. 25 minutes remaining. Now, as a commentator, what kills me is when Ecstasy and Nasty get in the same race, because they're both about the same skill level, and I have to sit there and try to say Ecstasy Nasty, Nasty Ecstasy, and it is very difficult. Starting his flyer, Ecstasy up into T1, keeping it pinned. He does have traction control on. And again, like I was saying, you know, it's better to get one lap done than no laps done. So if you can't get a lap done with TC off, might as well turn it on and try to do whatever it is you can do. Coming around here, gonna be into the chicane. Where are we? Oh no. He got a 108.696. It is Will's brother who's about to come across. There we go. Will's brother not able to improve. Back on board with Ecstasy. This is when my fellow commentators understand when they say we want longer races, and production's like, no, we don't. Because we're almost 2 hours and 40 minutes in, and talking is becoming very difficult, wouldn't you say, Jorge?
Yep. I wouldn't want to have to try and entertain the people day in and day out for hours at a time. I'm not much of a talker. Yeah, I'm not much of a talker myself anyways, so this is like a nightmare gig for me.
It's funny. It's funny in my real life. If you just knew me outside of, like, if you just knew me in person and didn't know this, I am a very shy, quiet individual. But it's once I feel comfortable, once I feel like I'm in my place, then I can open up and I can talk for days.
Yeah, I find that hard to believe that you're shy and stuff like that, but okay, I got it.
Yeah. But all I have to do is like, if I'm with people I know, I can be fine. But like, if I were to go someplace and not know anybody, I'm in the corner sniffing those markers that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Well, while we're getting close to wrapping up here, I haven't asked Jorge yet about, you know, the season 3 experience, the championship. Can you talk a little bit about, you know, what your favorite aspect or memory from the season was, kind of what your worst experience was, just overall?
Season 3, that was last season?
Yeah. Yes, champ.
It's hard to remember because I think half a season in there or like a exhibition season, so I've kind of lost track of the numbering. But you know, actually last season was kind of interesting because we had a lot of faster people show up, and it got pretty sweaty there for a minute. Like Mullet, who showed up? Mullet, Wilcox, Wid had never done any of the seasons. Yagami, who's a very fast driver, so it turned into like or changed from like just a chill fun thing to like, shoot, now I got to really sweat this and try my hardest. And then, yeah, so I think me and Wade had some good battles, and I crashed out of a couple races or crashed in a
Yeah.
couple races. And then obviously it came down to the very wire. We tied in points, and I had some tiebreaker. But yeah, so it was really interesting. And then
Yeah.
I was surprised a lot of those guys didn't show up again for this one, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was really good competition, pretty stiff competition.
Yeah, and Wid's certainly back this year, but yeah, I haven't seen KP. But yeah, I recall the at least one of the crashes at Red Bull Ring. I think you were
Yeah,
I think you were leading the race at that point and you crashed.
I think I was. I had passed Wid maybe a lap or something before, and then just barely got on the curb and spun it in the rain. And then at Le Mans, I accidentally stayed out on either wet or intermediate tires and spun it in the rain there too. So yeah,
Yes.
but that's what happens when there's a lot of really competitive people. You got to push so hard, and then you start making mistakes. So that's certainly what happened.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean the fact that you and Wid tied on points, with that many points at stake, it's it's kind of unreal. So
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
the fact it comes down to a tiebreaker, it's awesome. It was certainly not short on entertainment value for the rest of us.
No,
If
not
I
at
can
all.
speak for everybody else.
Yeah, and then I think in that last race, it was like he was like way ahead in points. I had to do like a couple things. I either had to get pole and win, or I had to get like fastest lap and win, or something like that. Some combination. I needed to win and get some other additional points. And then it really came
Yeah.
down to the wire because I did two of those things, but then I think he got fastest lap at the very end on the last lap. So,
Yes.
it was really close, especially because during the race, I remember thinking, okay, I've got the fastest lap, and it looks like I might win, but then, he stole the fastest lap at the end there. So, made it that much closer.
Yeah. Yeah. Super entertaining to see the battle there, and especially to kind of be on the commentary crew and see that all come together was like unreal.
Yeah, that's what makes it. That's the thing that makes a fun day of broadcasting is even if it's not the battle for the win, and we've seen that in the lower splits, right? It's like as long as there's something on the line, it is fun to watch, and having all these caliber of drivers really makes it just a great time.
Yeah. And I mean, certainly we're talking about the top of, the results, championship at stake, but, it's in all the splits really where, you see, people matched up together very well, and it kind of comes down to the end, and, there can be, maybe not championship stakes, but certainly bragging rights, and, it really, at least from my perspective, I think it matters to try to get into the top 10 or 15 or 20 in points. And so, you can be in split 2 or even split 3 and have meaningful races that
Yep.
way. So, I mean, it can be super exciting. We had one of the races I was in, I recall, I think it was round 3. Gosh, who was it? I remember I was out in front, and the two people behind me, they were catching me because I was on a different tire strat, and it was really close, and then they started battling, and they came down to the finish line, and they both ran out of fuel.
Yeah.
Because one of them ran out of fuel a split second after and ended up overtaking for second place, like right at the line. Like, yeah, you can't script that stuff. It was amazing.
And that's where I think this style of qualifying comes into play. It does make... Now, could we add qualifying before the race? I like that this is splitting up the splits because it gets you the equal drivers for the specific combo. And I like that. And the race I was referring to with Leo earlier, I believe we were all in split 3 at Red Bull Ring. And that was probably one of the best races that weekend. So it can come anywhere, but it always ends up being a good time. I see Papa asking Jorge about your plaque. Did you get a plaque for your win?
I don't think I did. I
Oh
mean,
no.
I got one from season 1,
Okay.
but I don't know. I got to check my mail. I don't get my mail, to be honest with you. So if it came in the regular mail, it
Yeah.
could be sitting in my mailbox.
You just have like massive amounts of stuff overflowing out of your
Oh,
mailbox, or
like
what?
a crazy amount. I mean, who gets anything in the mail these days? It's just literally
It's
junk.
junk
Someone
mail.
comes
Yep.
someone comes to my house every single day and literally delivers trash to me.
I I
So,
Yeah.
I'm totally with you. I can't believe it. In 2026, we still get junk mail. Ugh, drives me crazy.
Indeed. Indeed. So SSC, a 108.380, where does that put him?
That's gonna put us to see 108 3.0. That's gonna put him. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong sheet. That's why. 16th, I believe.
All right. The split 2 cutoff is a 108.152. So just
And then
behind that.
yeah, Will's brother is right behind that. He'll be um 16th,
He's only a
15th,
10th
and
off.
16th. No,
All right.
16th and 17th is where they
There we
should
go.
end up.
Looks like we have time for one more qualifying. If you have been practicing and thinking about qualifying, hop on in. And we will get you in here. We have 2 full splits of Group 1 with some Split 3 drivers as well. And if I can manage Discord, because it's a pain in the arse. What the? You can see we have 3 splits of Group 3. Is there anyone that's dropped down to split 4 in Group 3, or is...
Hold on, let me double check real quick on those times that we had in the chat, or for you guys. Was it Will's brother who had 108 380, or was that Ecstasy who had 108 380? Who was quicker in that last lobby?
Ecstasy. Will's brother was second.
Right. Yep. Okay. So Ecstasy had 108 380, and Will's brother had 108 495.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So for Group 3, we have 22 qualifiers so far. So 3 full lobbies and then 1 additional.
Okay. So that looks good. We've had in the past, if we can't fill that 4 split, we do allow drivers in the higher splits to try a different class, which typically turns out to be fun. As we see Tommy Turismo showing up for Group 3. This will be our last qualifying session. Tommy Turismo throwing it down.
All right, so this will be the 23rd qualifier for Group 3.
And
Is that an Aston? Is that an Aston logo on the side of this
an Aston Porsche?
Aspen Gang.
Oh, there you go.
I do love this. This is the car we're using in the Endurance Sprint Series. The new 911 is rather fantastic, I think. Do you guys have a favorite Group 3 car?
I think this one's pretty fun to drive. I personally would probably never drive it in a endurance race, but yeah, I think it's fun to drive, especially for stuff like this.
Yeah, I think my favorite is now and potentially will continue to be the 458.
Okay.
But I do like this new 911. It's not ideal for all tracks, but I love the way it handles, and there are some tracks that it's very good on. But I'll drive it on a track that it's not cut out for. I just like the car.
I think it's just a good all-arounder. It's predictable. It may not be the fastest, but you're going to finish the race.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I struggle with the MR cars. Especially when the tire wear gets or the tires get pretty worn down. I think they become actually really unpredictable. But yeah, I mean, for me, the M6 all day.
I fell in love with the Corvette actually a while back. Out of nowhere, ended up being a really good Group 3 car for me. But yeah, I like the Ferrari. I like the Porsche. The Corvette. Those are usually the ones I go to. I can sometimes handle the Supra and the GTR. I can't handle the Genesis. Not for me. But or the Audi R8. I can't do the Audi R8. I can do most mid-engines, but the Audi and the Lamborghini, I just can't do.
Well, that's how I feel about the Ferrari. The Ferrari kind of feels like those cars to me. And it can be fast, but they have some like really weird handling characteristics, especially when the tires get, worn down a bit. Like I tested the Audi here for this race, and after 8 or 9 laps, like it would just snap in certain spots really bad. So
yeah,
I
but
feel
it's
like
a personal thing.
This 992 will get away from you. And I like the car. I like the way it handles, but it surprises me more than other cars with when it lets go. So I'm sure if I drove it more, I'd get kind of a feel for it. But it's caught me off guard a couple of times in competitive races.
Well, it's interesting because in IRO we had the long debate about FR versus MR, and I was always of the mindset like these cars can be really fast, but very difficult to drive over an extended period of time with worn tires. You're talking like a 12 or 24-hour race. And there's a lot of teams in IRO that picked the Audi or the Porsche, and very, very fast drivers, but see a lot of crashes.
Yeah.
And like there's a team that has the Audi, and one of their drivers is like insanely fast, like faster than the whole field. And they finished way down the leaderboard at the Nürburgring because they were in the pits, once per stint fixing damage, because it's just all it takes is one little mistake and you're in big trouble.
Especially at the ring.
Right.
Yeah.
Another car I love that it's typically not good, but sometimes it is the AMG. I love to drive it. Maybe because I like the way it sounds. That V8 is
I love that car.
Insane. It's got a big old booty, and it's good to go.
That's my least favorite. I hate that car.
Oh, I love that car.
It's like a boat. It just won't turn. And it's so sluggish out of the corners.
So that brings up, what do you prefer, oversteer or understeer?
Well, I prefer a well-balanced mid-engine
car.
That's why I like the Ferrari. But oversteer I prefer a little bit of oversteer, as long as it's not crazy snappy. But, I mean, it's whatever I can find balance in. But,
see, I can't do the McLaren because I can't handle the understeer that the McLaren has. I'm like, rotate, rotate.
I've driven that 458 so much. I mean, that's what I've driven more than any other Group 3 car. So I can coax it into a little bit of oversteer if it gets understeery. Like, I feel like I can kind of manipulate it to do the things I want it to do, which is why I'm a big fan of it. But I've been a fan of the way the Ferrari's handling GT for a long time, and it's evolved over time. But I think I've just evolved with it and just stayed comfortable with it. But yeah,
interesting. How about you, Tuzum? Are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Do you have thoughts on that as far as oversteer, understeer, MR, FR?
So, if I had to go up like I feel more comfortable with understeer because I like to be more aggressive coming out of corners, and any type of oversteer kind of throws me off a little bit.
Interesting.
So I prefer the car to be a little more stable in the front end. As far as MR versus FR, I'll drive either or. Like, my favorite Group 3 in this game is the Viper.
Yeah.
But specifically the unbought Viper.
He loves that Viper.
But
that's crazy.
And if I do dailies or any type of Group 3 race, I'm most likely in the 992.
Okay, yeah. And how about you?
Do you feel like the 992 gets unpredictable?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it can be. Because of that, this is the only Group 3 and like one of very, very few cars that I've run with front brake bias.
Oh, you run
but
front here. Interesting.
with this car, yeah.
I always go 3 to the rear.
Yeah, I was running rear brake bias, but Jorge randomly told me, he was like, you should just like try negative brake bias, and the car felt like a million times better.
Wow.
So I've been running with that since.
Interesting. Your thoughts, Jorge?
I mean, I feel like all the cars in the game kind of feel understeery to me, especially the FRs. And I mean, that's pretty much primarily what I drive, so I do prefer that. I mean, every once in a while when I jump in one of these MRs, I'm like, wow, this feels amazing, but I don't know. They just do feel unpredictable to me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, that's something interesting. Like I watch a lot of F1 and other motorsports, but like you look at the, arguably the 2 best Formula One drivers, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. And Max is notorious. He wants the front end to bite, and he wants the back end to let loose. And Lewis Hamilton is the exact opposite. They're both insanely fast and just as good as the other. So it does come down to preference and what works for you and what you can make work. But it is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Max saying that. He was saying he's like basically feels like he's putting the car like right on the edge, but he feels like that's what he has to do. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. And like since I've been doing autocross for almost a year now, and that's something I've understood is what we don't get in sim racing. We get a little bit in the force feedback, but what we don't get is that feeling in your butt, in the seat of your pants. You can literally feel when the back end lets out. You can feel when the front end isn't gripping. And it's a matter of what can you make work for you as you're pushing the car to the limit. Because if you're not feeling that, you're not pushing the car to the limit and you're losing time. So it's a matter of figuring out what works best for you. And for me, both in real life and in the game, I would rather the back end dance and me need to either modulate the throttle or the steering input versus, I guess it comes down to braking, really. Like, how do you approach the corner, right? Like, are you going to slow down enough? If you slow down enough, then understeer is good because you're controlling the car. But if you haven't slowed down enough, understeer's bad and you're just going straight off the corner. So, interesting approaches, and it just comes down to preference, I guess.
Yep.
And I think when you get really comfortable with a car, like I was saying with the 458, you learn how you can induce more of what you want to feel when you're getting close to the limit. So if you want to induce some oversteer, or if you're looking to push to the understeer, you know how to get to that limit and translate it into a faster lap time instead of letting it be something that's slowing your lap time. But that's, we talked about having thousands of hours in the game and turning off assists and how to get faster, and learning the tracks and learning the cars is just something you can't avoid.
Now, something that's been brought to my attention, and I've been asked by several people about coaching, right? Coaching within Gran Turismo. During it was either season 1 or season 2 of NRL, Hako gave me a free coaching session on one of the NRL combos, as we see a purple lap there from Tommy, a 118.864, and that will be his final lap. But I found I was having a hard time doing what he was telling me to do. Have any of y'all or tried any coaching or watch any videos to get faster?
Yeah, I mean, I always watch videos, or not always, but if I can find a good video on like a particular combo that I'm doing, then yeah, I'll watch it. I mean, I always find those helpful. And I did have 1 or 2 coaching sessions, but I didn't really find them to be that helpful.
Right.
It is hard to kind of implement what the person's telling you. And a lot of times, unless you have the time to like break your lap down and kind of start from scratch, then it's I think it's tough because that's what happened with me. Like I was looking for a tenth or two, literally, and I had someone coach me, and then I obviously got much slower trying to do all these different
Right.
things, and then ultimately I had to like build the lap back up and
Right.
find a half a tenth or something, and I was like, was that really worth it?
Yeah,
The
forget
time and
everything you
effort.
just did and try to do something different.
Right. It's almost like you kind of got to know what you got. Unless you're doing something very wrong, it's kind of like take what you got and make the best of it rather
Interesting.
than try and do something completely different, which you're probably going to be worse at anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never had an actual coaching session, but there are some streamers that I've certainly watched to, I don't know, just pick up racecraft, pick up pointers, tips, and I've actually used Tijni quite a bit.
Yeah,
Every
I
week
use
he
Tijni
posts
quite a bit.
the weekly, the dailies every week on Mondays. And so if you're looking for how to learn a track or understand what the strengths and weaknesses of cars are, because he does a series for, car tire wear, fuel mileage, top speed, all of that. So I've used that to my advantage quite a bit, just to understand brake points and what cars are best on certain tracks and that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I found that Tijni really helps me when it comes to acceleration. On the like, I struggle with medium to high speed corners, and I found that Tijni really, he's like, when you see this, and if your wheel is at this point, hit the throttle, and
Yes.
that's helped me so much. Yeah, I typically watch Tijni's his lap guide once or twice. I don't stick to it. I think some people feel like they have to do exactly what he's doing, but you're not him. So
Yep.
take what he's doing and figure out what works for you. I think that's really
Right.
good. What about you, Tessam?
I I'll watch a video here and there, but like a lot of where I get my pace from, it just comes from seat time.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's
like people
yeah.
have all types of different ways to drive cars. I drive my car my way. Jorge drives it his way. You guys drive it your way. So someone telling you what they do, unless you can adjust, it may not it may not come to it may not what's the word I'm looking for. It's not going to automatically improve your lap time unless you're really good at adapting your driving style to what they're trying to show you.
Yep. Yeah, you gotta with everything in life. You find what works for you. You can take the advice of those other people, and then make it work for you. I think that's really good. So Tommy Turismo with a 118.864, that will be our final driver for tonight. So that's it. We got 3 splits for sure in both categories, and some stragglers in split 4. What do you see there, Q? I know you got the qualifying. How are we looking for Group 1 and Group 3?
Yeah, so for Group 3, we've got 23 times in, so just a little bit over 3 splits. And then Group 1, we have exactly 21 times in, so exactly 3 splits.
Wonderful, wonderful to see. I imagine we'll have several drivers who want to hop in split 4 on Saturday. So Friday's going to be full. Friday we'll have splits 1 and 3. Saturday we will have splits 2 and split 4 partially, hopefully filled up by some other drivers who want to try another class. This has been so much fun. We've had our guest commentators here. Jorge, as a driver, not an official commentator, thank you for joining us. Tussin Bucks jumping in after his quali. You know his voice and you know his lap times. So good to have you. And then Q, great addition. I'm loving your addition to the commentary crew and the racing queue. Before I say goodbye, I'll let y'all all say goodnight, starting with you, Jorge.
Yeah, thanks for having me. A lot of fun. Appreciate it.
Indeed. We'll see you split 1 on Friday. And you, Tussin Box.
I just want to say, help control the box population. Have your boxes crushed and recycled. And yeah, I will see you guys on Friday.
We can't emphasize it enough. Crush and recycle. Those boxes reproduce like you wouldn't believe. Bob Barker would be proud. And Q, thank you for joining us. I'll let you say your goodbyes.
Had a great time tonight. Good conversation. Thanks for allowing me to, be on and be a part of this commentary crew. And Jorge and Tuzum, thanks for adding quite a bit of information. It was great to talk to you guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
Indeed.
likewise.
Indeed, it was awesome. Great conversation. Great job. Made my job a lot easier having y'all in here with us. Again, link to the website pinned in the chat. Please, please, please click on that. You will find out the next races, who's streaming, what's going on, what combos, all of that's there. And also a link to the PHG Discord. It's all there. Click that. If you don't mind liking and subscribing to my channel, I'd greatly appreciate it. We love having it. And real quick, what are they saying in chat here? Quality time with Q and T. What is this?
They're being ridiculous as normal.
They want us to qualify. No, you will be so bored outside your mind.
No, this will be quality time. It's like
quality
Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy kind of stuff.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm happy to do that. I stream every Tuesday, TK Lobbies. You'll hear all sorts of nonsense from this mouth. And I will be commentating on Saturday. But again, link pinned in the chat. Like and subscribe. Thank you all. And we will catch you later. Bye.
Thanks.
Well, PHG family, you stayed to the last lap. Hands up, screens up. One more time for the ride. Turn tonight. You held the line with me through red flags and green light.
Pit lane stories, full gas hearts. We chase that finish sound.
Now the last spring fades away,
but we ain't slowing down.
Hear that engine call.
One more roll of thunder.
Keep that fire in your chest.
We're going back under.
PHG World Series Season 4.
We were born for more. Until next time,
We hit the floor, we hit the floor.
PHG World Series Season 4. Keep that engine roll. Until next time,
We run it back once more.
You saw the slide, you saw the save.
You saw the last lap grin.
Every wheel, the wheel, every close call.
We felt you leaning in.
The checkered flag don't mean goodbye, just means the night went wild.
Save that spot for the next green. We'll meet you in a while.
When the lights go low and the final screen is glowing,
All that talk, all that heat.
still keeps the whole room flowing.
PHG World Series Season 4.
We were born for more. Until next time,
We hit the floor, we hit the floor.
PHG World Series Season 4. Keep that engine roll. Until next time,
We run it back once more. To every driver who clipped the apex. To every viewer who called the move before it happened. To every late night legend who stayed until the end. You made this more than a race.
You made it a room. You made it a ritual. You made it a reason to come back hungry.
When the helmets come off, the story still rolls.
When the track goes quiet, we still hear you.
So keep your colors ready,
Keep your flag high.
keep your friends close,
Keep your timing sharp.
because the next start line is already waiting on us.
Slow it down, let it breathe. Then we rise like a fire. Hands together, heart to heart. Then we climb even higher.
PHG
World Series Season 4. We were born for more. Until next time, until next
We
time.
hit the floor, we hit the floor.
PHG World Series Season 4. Keep that engine roar. Until next time, until next time.
We run it back once more.
Until next time.
Keep the pedal